Yeah!
All righty, let's kick it off.
Let's open the doors.
Come on,
Come on
people.
in.
Come on in. Look at them rushing down to those tables in the front. Look at that.
Take your time. Don't trip each other. It's going to be good. There's plenty of stuff to go around.
Yeah, I saw that one guy drinking in the parking lot already.
Yeah. Drunk Carl smoking a bong.
He's doing it right now at the front table.
And we don't have our pants on. How great is that? So
Well,
it's our
morning.
virtual Beat Michigan Breakfast Club without the alcohol. Or I guess
correct.
you could do it at home.
Maybe somebody's sipping. I bet.
Well-
I know one guy who's sipping one right now.
Who's that?
What do you mean, DC?
Oh, Drunk Carl.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
No, he's tipping a
He's been
bud.
tipping one since 2 a.m.
Oh, absolutely.
Tipping a bud and smoking a bud.
Getting ready.
I wonder what people are going to now, Jerry. You're a Michigan fan, so you've given up on this game and this rivalry a little bit. But I wonder what the diehard, like me, this is usually is Thanksgiving, but for like me and my family, it's Michigan week, so we can't wait and we talk about the game. And I don't know what we're going to do without the game, what we're going to do Saturday at noon.
Well, what game did we hear yesterday? Fox was going to play at noon. It was the Colorado BYU game. Is that correct?
Oh, joy.
Oh, exciting.
Oh, joy. Just drink
That makes
bleach.
up for it.
Just drink bleach straight from the bottle.
Yeah.
I think that's my computer that's
I
feeding
think
back,
that's
isn't
mine.
it?
Is that mine or
No,
yours?
it's mine.
What?
I'm stupid. I just had the volume up, so it was feeding back to us.
All right,
That's
there
me,
we go.
Jerry.
There we go.
Just check every wire,
All right.
right? Unplug everything. Until
Well,
it
we
works.
better get our ducks in a row because we have a great show. Did I see in the 7 o'clock hour, Torg? Confirm this for me.
Mhm.
Roy Hall, Eddie George, JT Barrett.
Yeah, you get it
Boom,
correctly.
boom, boom. The 9 o'clock hour, we got Chris Spielman, Kurt Barton, and then you sprinkle in Brandon Lang at 8:05. 2 Beat Michigan Hot Fives. It's a show.
Yeah, it is a show. By the way, that
It's a
feedback is not my computer.
It's a show.
I think it is
I
your
don't even know where
computer.
it's coming from.
I think it's your computer. You just got to hit mute on your computer. It's coming from your computer, so you just got to
I
hit
can
mute.
I can do that. Of course, it's my computer. No, I'm muted. I'm muted, dude.
Hi, Darcy. As you're peeking behind Jerry.
So we want to tell everybody who's out there listening, you can go to Qfm96.com right in the front page, and we're videoed up because it's virtual. Some of our guests who are coming on will be virtual, right? Yeah,
Yes,
Jerry, that's
absolutely.
your computer. Right?
Absolutely. I thought it was.
Yeah. So everything will be virtual today. Roy Hall at 7:05 will be sitting at home, and you will watch him on your screen talking to us. I bet you he's even handsome at 7:05 on the computer.
Oh, there's no
screen.
doubt.
Hulking.
Well, he's been up doing push-ups since 4.
Yeah. Roy Hall's one of those guys too. You ever have a friend that's in really good shape and they wear like, I'm joking when I say this, but Roy Hall wears like men's small. You know, they wear the shirt so it outlines the muscles.
Yeah, it's got to form around those big hulking arms.
He's cut like the mannequin at Dick's Sporting Goods. And guys like us walk by and we see that shirt, on the man. Go, that's good. Look. Then you buy it and it's like, nah, I ain't like that. You ain't looking like that.
It looks like you're in a sausage casing. Yeah, completely different.
Something you'll never find in our wardrobe, like Jerry and I. Form-fitting shirts. Right?
Yeah, not at our age.
Yeah, no.
Do you
Not
guys
at our
even
age.
tuck your shirts in anymore?
That's
I've got
out.
some that I do, but yeah.
Do
For the
ya?
most part, they just kind of
tuck
hang
in
free.
The belt, yeah.
What do you tuck in for? I think only like weddings.
What?
Or in funerals. You don't tuck in. That's not the style. The tuck in is not the style. It's leave out.
Who told you that?
No one has
Well, I
to
know
tell
it's
me.
the Untucked. I mean,
Yeah.
they even have the untucked.com.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Who
I
told
think
me the world?
you could still tuck in your shirt.
No, you could tuck it in.
If you have a
but-
shirt that's not made to be tucked in, you don't.
Yeah, like different occasions you tuck in. But if you're walking,
So
you're
what's
out.
what's
if
a
you have a nice
tucked in occasion?
How do you show you off your nice belt
when it's a tuck in
if you
occasion?
don't tuck in?
When it's a tuck in occasion.
Yeah.
Like here's an example. if you watch an old rerun of Seinfeld right now,
Right.
they tuck in
Everything's
episode,
tucked
and it
in.
looks
Yeah.
so.
Well, that was the
awkward.
style back in the 80s and
that's what I
90s.
mean.
Right,
The
Yeah.
style just, I'm not saying you can't tuck in. I'm just saying 10, 15, 20 years ago was all tuck in.
See, and I
Now
think
it's not.
for dudes that
I
have
think it's
really,
even-
really big guts, when you tuck in and you wear the belt, and then you just get the Dunlap disease, a Dunlap over your belt and the top of your, and it just untuck, just let it hang free,
Yeah, it's
kind of
pretty
cover it, kind of
sloppy,
cam.
though, the untucked.
Yeah,
you know what I
well, it
mean?
can
It's
look
kind of a
good,
douchey 20-something
but you
look.
can camouflage. Big
Yeah.
shirts,
Yeah, oh,
and
no,
women do the
there's-
same
Well,
thing.
that's why we wear hoodies.
Yeah,
That's why God invented hoodies.
hoodies are very
And you know what I
forgiving.
heard yesterday? I saw on Carhartt has a new hip line or whatever,
Mhm.
and they had I got an email and I clicked on I went to the Carhartt.com, and it's overalls for men
Really?
or women, I guess.
Yeah.
But they were like expensive, and I'm like, I texted it to my one son. I said, if you're gonna look like a mountain man, I should buy you these so you can be a mountain man. And he said, oh no, those are totally in now. You see all kinds of young people wearing them now.
See, and
The overalls are in.
for
Isn't it
guys,
good?
I get it, but for gals, I know, Jerry,
Oh,
you
it
like
looks
that look.
good on a
But
gal.
girls, to wear overalls for girls, it's not very flattering
And you
because
can't
there's
see
no
the
lines. You
boobs,
can't see the
yeah.
boobs.
Oh no, you can get those tied. I had a girlfriend had a white pair.
Yeah.
I had a white pair of
In the
painter's pants
summertime, she'd
overalls.
wear oh.
Well, now if you wear the overalls with a tank top for the gals, okay, in the
That's-
summer,
yeah,
that's
right,
okay. That's kind of
whatever.
hot, but still, there's no form to the overalls.
But
It's just kind of
overall,
there.
I'm gonna get me a pair and wear them in here. Oh,
Ugh.
Farmer Jerry. Forget maize and blue or Charlotte Gray. I'm gonna wear John Deere green.
John Deere green painter pants overalls. You go, Jerry.
So, Jerry, do you? I'll do this. I'll for sure do this. I'll admit to it. With your kids, throw things off like, "Hey, is this in?" Like you just.
Well, I
did
need
with
to
the-
know what to buy 'em.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be buying them shirts that you have to tuck in.
So you actually
Yeah.
still, yeah.
Your
So-
boy Nick
so
is
I
a
ask.
tuck-in guy.
So
though.
I ask.
Yeah.
And
But
my
you-
youngest especially is he's kind of a close horse.
Owen tuck-in.
Owen,
Nick, not tuck in.
no, Owen's not.
Oh,
Owen's
he's
the
not.
hippest
And
of the
Ryan is
three,
what?
yeah.
Maybe tuck, maybe not. Just whatever he's feeling that day.
I guess, yeah.
I think that's great that you actually still physically buy your boys presents and make the effort instead of just giving them cash going, hey, go get what you want.
Oh,
Why
no,
wouldn't
they
he?
got to have
It's
something to
Christmas,
open on
yeah.
Christmas
see?
morning.
That's really cool.
Of course.
What do you mean it's really cool?
Because
It
my
should be
daughter
ex-
goes, just give me cash. I'm like, okay. So the past few years, here's
So
a check.
Christmas morning, you don't sit around the tree and open gifts? That's sad.
Well, I
I
don't
want to
s-
hug you, Christy.
I don't see them Christmas morning. They come over later. So,
Yeah, right.
we go to my mom's or whatever, and then we exchange cards.
Right.
And here's a gift card and here's a check. Merry
Really?
Christmas. She's 30 years old. She's like,
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah, but
I
what
don't need to
about with
open a
your other
gift.
relatives, like your sisters and stuff.
It's the same thing. Just here's the gift cards. We
Wow.
have a little gift exchange.
Everybody in my wife's family, we get together and open. There's no gift cards. It's open presents.
Yeah.
Even like cousins and stuff. It's presents.
My wife and I do it sparingly now, I've noticed, last few years.
Yeah, same here.
Still do the gifts,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but not like we used to.
Well, yeah.
Not like when you're dating.
Yeah.
Oh God, when we were
Then it's
dating,
a
or
really
the
big
first
deal.
year. Oh God,
Yeah,
that
right,
first
that's a
Christmas,
big
you got to
deal.
almost outdo each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to get her the kitchen sponge and the vacuum.
Absolutely. And the apron to match. Yes.
Shut up.
So we'll get going with Roy Hall at 7:05, and we'll do the Michigan Hot Five, some of the greatest highlights of this rivalry.
Gonna be fun, man.
It will be a good time.
Borgata's coming by, Christy.
They are.
Yes.
It's gonna come by.
Torg placed a personal order, and it will be here later this morning.
It will be a Christy. Me and you will do moonshine in the parking lot just because it's virtual beat Michigan.
That's all right. Right behind. Oh, and by the way, DC just checked in. Damn right, I'm doing shots of tequila
Oh,
and
yeah.
smoking a bowl. So
That's my
thanks,
boy.
DC.
That's my
there you
boy.
go. Where's-
OH.
Pace yourself.
Yeah, does drunk Carl? I'll do a little.
Okay,
idle
thank
for
you.
Christy. Does drunk Carl grow his own weed?
Well, he lives on a farm.
Okay, I'm just asking.
I wouldn't know, but I'm sure in between whatever crop that they're planting, there might
You
be a
think?
few
But
things.
could you imagine being a
He
weed?
doesn't strike me as a grower.
Yeah, but
'Cause
imagine.
growing's kind of like science. You got to really know.
No. Drunk
Yeah.
Carl just puts a seed in the yard.
Yeah, that's
there.
true.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, don't worry. We'll hear from him in a second.
Because I don't see drunk Carl showing up at someone's door. Hey, man, can I get a quarter?
I would
Maybe.
think that Carl's growing his own.
Yeah, that's what I would guess.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
You know what, Torg, you and I could be wrong, but I'm thinking.
I think drunk Carl would be the guy who would come to your house if you were the drug dealer and then like never leave, want to hang out with the drug dealer. Like hang out in his apartment and watch
never
a movie.
leaves.
Sitting in the beanbag chair, slumped in the beanbag chair, watching old black and white reruns of Lassie, no shirt on, sucking on a liter of Mountain Dew.
And then smoking weed out of the Mountain Dew, making a pipe later.
Right.
All right, so before we go to break, I'm going to leave you with this fun fact.
It's hot in here.
I was going to
We got a
say.
studio full of
It
people.
is.
That's why.
Since it's virtual beat Michigan, I'm going to give you the stat.
Should
of
I
the
take
day,
mine
and
off
you can use
too?
it. Go ahead.
No,
Go
just
for it, Christy. The only ones who could see it are me and Jerry, though.
Yeah.
Next year in this rivalry, now you think about how the Buckeyes have dominated. Next year will be 10 years since Michigan has won a game. Now it's
How
9.
about that?
It's 9, and we count it. It's 9 years since they beat us. Next year will be 10 years.
Wow.
Is that? I'll go back and look. I'm sure it might have. Has it happened in
Yeah,
the modern era?
Well,
I'm kind of looking right now.
They've won
through
2
this.
of the last 10, right? But going into this year, you're right. It'll be 1 out of 10.
Yeah, well, no. But next year will be 10 years since they've won. So you got to win the game.
Okay.
You got to win the game to keep it on that date. It will be 10 years.
You weren't living here or probably even paying any attention to the game back in before you got here. But do you recall the tie year when Gordon Gee came out and acted like it was a win
Yeah.
because they didn't lose?
No, I was aware of that story.
That's how the fortunes of these two programs have flipped.
Well, it's a tie.
Was a win.
Well, we didn't lose. It was a tie.
Yeah, but that was not a good look.
No.
Gordon Gee took a lot of heat
He
for
did
that
take a lot of
nationally.
heat for
Yeah.
that. You're right.
I remember doing sports radio, and we would talk about
And
how
now-
could he say that, like a tie's a win.
Yeah, Wolverines would kill for a tie.
Absolutely, they would. They absolutely would. So hang out with us, QFM96.com, or you can listen on your radio. So it's going to be a little fun day. It's Torg and Elliott, Virtual Beat Michigan, QFM96.
It's been such a long time. Think I should be going. Yeah. Time doesn't wait for me, keeps on rolling. Sailing on a distant highway. Gotta keep on chasing the dream. I gotta be on my way. There's something I could say. Well, I'm taking my time, I'm just moving on. You forget about me after I've been gone. Well, I take what I find, I don't want no more. It's just outside of your front door. Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's been such a long time. It's been such a long time. Whoa. Yeah, now it's so lonely when I am without you. But in my mind, deep in my mind, I can't forget about you. Oh, good times, places that remind me. Yeah. Time to forget your name and leave it all behind me. Just coming back to find me. Well, I'm taking my time, I'm just moving on. You forget about me after I've been gone. Well, I take what I find, I don't want no more. It's just outside of your front door. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's been such a long time. It's been such a long time. It's been such a long time. Think I should be going. Yeah. Time doesn't wait for me. It keeps on rolling. It's a long road. Gotta stay in time with. Yeah. Gotta keep on chasing that dream. Though I may never find it.
Building, and
Well, I'm taking my time, just moving on. Taking my time, just moving on. My time, just taking my time. Yeah, I'm taking my time, just taking my time.
Hey, it's Torg and Elliott. We are doing our virtual Beat Michigan Breakfast Club now because Michigan canceled doesn't mean that Torg and Elliott cancel. And make sure you get registered at Qfm96.com. Not only can you watch the broadcast today, but you can register for a chance to win prizes from the Lion's Den or the grand prize of a new weed whacker and leaf blower from Vernon Dell Tractor. So just click on the virtual Beat Michigan Breakfast Club post and sign up below the live stream video. It's the virtual Beat Michigan Breakfast Club with Torg and Elliott presented by Vernon Dell Tractor. Throw that in a lot between the.
What time is it? Well, time to see if that watch is worth $50,000. Lots of sunshine until late afternoon and then clouds. A high today 60. Clouds tonight. Got a slight chance of showers after midnight, a low 45. Showers for your Saturday and a high 58. It is 36 right now. Well, in case you didn't hear, Ohio Governor Mike DeWine has extended the state's overnight coronavirus curfew into the new year. The curfew, first enacted last month, runs.
It's working so good.
I know.
Well, here's really killing the good New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 10 o'clock.
Yeah, everybody go home. Well, here's the thing. Okay, so it runs from 10 p.m. until 5 a.m. It's going to go through January the 2nd. It restricts movement outside your home, but allows multiple exceptions for work, grocery shopping, medical emergencies, and going to church.
And sports, I believe, too, right?
It doesn't say
because like the crew game,
the crew game exception, yes, if it goes, and the Browns, yeah. But like you guys said, some epidemiologists have questioned the effectiveness of the curfew. DeWine and a dozen medical practitioners yesterday, of course, he's got to have his gang around him, urged Ohioans to do everything they can to slow the spread of the virus leading up to Christmas. Ohio's 7-day rolling average of daily new cases has risen to 11,741 new cases per day on December the 9th.
Yeah, his gang of 80-year-old out-of-touch men.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of them, Chris. You just paying attention now?
Well, see, because I'm splitting screens here. Michigan sucks. Okay. Hold another one up. OHIO. Okay. Hey, it's official. Some other day of... It's official. The FDA's advisory panel is recommending emergency use authorization of Pfizer's and BioNTech's COVID-19 vaccine. But the vote, however, was not unanimous. They voted 17-4 in favor of recommending the drug for emergency use for people 16 and older. The CDC committee also holds a vote to recommend, but that could come as early as Sunday.
I've been reading up, Kemper, on this vaccine. I'm reading up every day, a little more.
Yeah, there's a little more that keeps coming out.
I want to be educated when it comes to getting this damn shot.
So you can give an educated guess.
The big concern right now are, the 16 and 17-year-olds. And those two cases that you cited over in the UK yesterday, that's an anomaly. They had horrible allergies going into that.
Okay, so the ones
pre-existing, the vaccine didn't cause, or might have triggered it, but they definitely had.
So the 3 that came down with Bell's palsy as a
result of their allergies, and then the vaccine.
Okay,
so, yeah.
Still, an anomaly is an anomaly. There might be a lot of anomalies from many different people.
That's true, because
the vaccine's going to affect everybody completely different.
But if you have allergies, you don't take the vaccine. Yeah,
that's what they're saying.
I would like an extra digit or a nipple.
You'd like an extra digit?
Yeah, a little finger, like 6.
Oh,
I could have 6.
no.
Like
why?
The vaccine's going to make you grow a third nipple?
Absolutely, that'd be fantastic.
Right.
An extra finger with that. Harbaugh wears granny panties. Thank you for that,
Those are
Torg.
hilarious, Torg. Do that all morning.
Former San Francisco 49ers quarterback turned social activist Colin Kaepernick getting his own Ben & Jerry's ice cream flavor.
I'm
guys.
out.
Guess what it's going to be called?
Third string quarterback?
Frothy Fro.
Third stringer.
Coco Fro.
No, it's going to be called Change the World. WHY. HIR LED. Change the world. It's going to be available early next year. Kaepernick says all the proceeds going to go directly to his Know Your Rights camp, and he hopes that the partnership will, quote, amplify calls to defund and abolish the police.
Ben & Jerry's, overrated.
Overrated.
I'm not even in.
I take Jenny's in a heartbeat over Ben & Jerry's.
Jenny's salted caramel.
Yeah.
Yum. And recently, Jerry, you're the watch guy. You love your watches. And Torg, you do too, don't you?
I love my watch. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, recently on
That's one thing that's out of fashion, speaking of.
Absolutely, you're right.
Nobody
there.
wears watches anymore because of their phones.
Yeah.
Well, recently on Antiques Roadshow, an unnamed man was blindsided by much a crappy watch given to him by his uncle in 1975. The Rolex had some serious wear and tear, oxidation, and the whole face was faded. But appraiser Peter Plain told the guy that if he got the watch serviced and repaired, it would be worth between $10,000 and $12,000. However, he added that collectors like things original, and the current worn version of the watch is worth $50,000. That definitely got the attention of the ecstatic watch owner, and pretty sure he's not going to get anything done with it. Going to put it on the market and see if anybody snaps it up for
Rolex
50 grand.
that you don't lose on those, man. They increase. You ever walk through like the diamond seller for whatever reason, an engagement ring or why ever you're there, and seen the prices of those Breitling watch?
Yeah.
Who spends $5,000, $15,000, $20,000 on a watch?
Ballers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would think.
Ballers.
Right. Obviously big money people, but man.
Not Torg and Elliott.
Not Torg.
You got what do you call it? Bolex? You got a Bolex.
Watch. Yeah.
QFM.
I got a Pfizer original.
QFM 96 Kemba Financial Credit Union traffic for your Friday morning commute. No major slowdowns, no accidents to report, and no disabled vehicles so far. You're doing good out there. And traffic is brought to you by Buyers. Love is family. Love is what makes a Subaru, and Subaru. Come to Buyers Dove and Subaru and fall in love. Subaru will donate $250 to your choice of charity partners now through January 4th, 2021 during the Subaru Share the Love event.
Think about it. Without Ohio's first responders, we'd be unable to function for even a single day. No police officers, no firefighters, no military personnel, or medical technicians. We may not see, but they're always there. And when it comes to safety, protection, healing, and freedom, they have our backs. And what better way to
Let's get somebody down, get some big tails out, get your heart in, baby. I got my time in run, I got my eyes on time. Stop me behind my little school bed. Little mama says whoa, with that assistance on, and I'll be falling up inside. There's no way I'm gonna lose that on it this time. Tie your mama down, tie your mama down. She don't take me out the door, don't leave you closing around. Tie your mama down, tie your mama down. Give me all your love tonight. Come on. Since you turned it out, she won't get out of my house. That's all I ever get from you. And no, family ties. In fact, I've never heard a single little simple word from those guys. But I don't do that. I'm gonna make it alright. I got a sweetheart hand to put a stop to all that. Sour and fire going on. See with me now. Tie your mama down, tie your mama down. And your little brother swimming with a brick, that's alright. Tie your mama down, tie your mama down. All you
Santa Mike.
And I'm Santa Tom. And we're your dealers for the people.
See all the holiday magic at BOBBBobsaysYes.com.
That's BOBBBobsaysYes.com.
Subject to approved credit. Not all customers will qualify for financing. Negative equity may be refinanced. Down payment match applied as a dealer discount on the price of the vehicle. Match only applies to cash provided by customer and does not apply to trade-in values, rebates, or coupons. Ends December 31st.
Be sure to visit CPAP Central before the end of the year if you have leftover FSA, HSA money, and they'll take care of the insurance for you. Healthy sleep is necessary for a healthy immune system. Ask your doctor for CPAP Central, 614-842-2136 to get help today. CPAPCentralOnline.com.
Hey, it's Torg and Elliott. We are doing our virtual Beat Michigan Breakfast Club. Now, because Michigan canceled doesn't mean that Torg and Elliott cancel. And make sure you get registered at Qfm96.com. Not only can you watch the broadcast today, but you can register for a chance to win prizes from the Lion's Den or the grand prize of a new weed whacker and leaf blower from Vernon Dell Tractor. So just click on the virtual Beat Michigan Breakfast Club post and sign up below the live stream video. It's the virtual Beat Michigan Breakfast Club with Torg and Elliott presented by Vernon Dell Tractor.
The capital city's iconic rock. QFM 96.
That thing hot, Daddy.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Here are your top 5 audio cuts for our special virtual Beat Michigan Hot 5 on the Rivalry. Audio cut number 1. Let's go to the 10-year war. You'll feel better about yourself, Michigan fans. Here's a clip of Bo and Woody talking about the 1969 Buckeye team that fell to underdog Michigan.
That team probably was the greatest football team that Woody ever had. It had no weakness. But they beat the greatest team that ever stepped on a college football field. I don't think there's any question what our 69 team, and I don't say that with bias, we were so far ahead in the national polls when we went up there that wasn't even close. I think that we were fortunate to catch them at a time when everybody was hailing them as the greatest collegiate team of all times. And there's an old saying that I learned from the coach at Ohio State, and that was that when people start saying a lot of nice things about you, look out. We'd won too many, and it's easy to get soft. And as hard as you talk to them, they still think they can win. Well, nobody had come within 4 touchdowns all year of them, and it's hard to convince guys. And Bo, of course, had lost a couple of ball games to just not too good of football teams. And it looked like we were a shoo-in, but we weren't. And that's the way football goes.
That's the way football goes.
Hey, Michigan, you don't have to worry about people saying nice things about you in the past decade.
It would have been great if they could have sent the third stringers down this week just to see.
Yeah.
It was going to be a defeat anyways, but who knows? At least strap up, meet at the 50, and see what happens, right?
Absolutely.
Add to the history a little bit. This sucks. No game at all. Number 2, OSU, of course, has had its share of legendary coaches, but let's go to 1987 in the game when Coach Earl Bruce was carried off the field by his team.
It's over. 56-year-old Earl Bruce finishes with his 81st win. He is 57-17 in Big Ten play, the best record in the Big Ten Conference since 1979. He finishes 5-4 against Michigan.
Yeah, and you'll hear Chris Spielman address that very post-game celebration coming up this morning at 9:05.
Ah, nice. We talked to Spiels. Cut number 3 here. So it's Urban Meyer's first year here. And remember, the year before was the Luke Fickell year where the Buckeyes lost. That was
hear the Fickell, Texas rumor yesterday?
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So things were looking bad, and Urban comes in and wants a win. So he made this move to get the W against their rivals.
I've never done anything like this before in my coaching career. It was on a Tuesday practice, and we're done. Our linebackers, we don't have really anyone left. And it's either cancel practice, play with 10 guys, or I have to do something. I'm walking through the stretch lines as they're warming up, and I grab Zach. I said, Zach, I've had enough. I'm putting you linebacker. What do you think? Didn't even blink an eye and basically looked at me kind of with water in his eyes, said, I will do anything for this team.
Gardner lost the football as he wound up, and it is being ruled a fumble and a recovery by Zach Bourne of Ohio State.
Zachary, boy, he's a great kid, huh? And then he left the shoe and watched The Bachelor.
Yes.
And then he rushed home to watch The Bachelor.
If you went to beat Michigan a couple years ago, Zach told you the story of what happened after that game. You can't say that on the air. Him and his teammates. That was a great story. And remember, on my phone right now, I'll have to show it to the audience on Qfm96.com, is that famous moment where Jerry's on the ground and Zach's
over standing over top of him.
We recreated, if I recall. Yes. All right, clip number 4. Ohio State certainly had the upper hand over the last 20 years. No debate about that, right? But it wasn't always that way. Back in 1986, Bo knocked off Earl and gave this victory speech.
But I'll bet the hooping and hollering is underway in Ann Arbor. That's going to do it. It was a great game. But Bo Schembechler gets the victory ride. And the Wolverines will go to the Rose Bowl with the Buckeyes going down to Dallas and the Cotton Bowl.
I can't tell you how proud I am. Smell good. You know, it's such a great character bunch of teams. I knew they couldn't stop us. It was our turn to win. And those that thought we were done after last week, forget about Michigan and all the tradition.
Never had a voice, that guy. He was a coach through and through, man.
Boo.
Had a lot of screaming, Obo did.
I can't hear a word you say.
Thank you.
Yes. Cut number 5. Let's go to 2014. Let's bring it back to a Buckeye cut where they're kicking Michigan's ass. Close game at home, 2014 in the fourth quarter. And Urban tells a story on what changed the tide of the game.
I called timeout. Was here in 2014 national championship year. Our third string quarterback is in the game, Cardell Jones. Fast forward, we're right at the beginning of the fourth quarter. It's fourth down and that far. Analytics says you punt the ball, play good defense, and end it. I took analytics out the window. I like this. I go timeout. Timeout. Called the offensive line coach right next to me. Called him over here. At Zeke Elliott. Zeke Elliott wasn't the Zeke yet. He wasn't the same guy, he turned out to be a superstar. It wasn't that way yet. And I grabbed the guys, got him real close to my face right here. I won't share the language with you that we used, but I said, do you want to go for it? Do you want to go for it? And I mean, 6 faces came into my faces. Right, go for the first down. We'll get the first down.
Pretty good.
There
Pretty good.
Urban going to coach again, Torg? What do you think?
Yeah. When Day goes to the pros and Urban comes back.
Urban's going to come back?
That's what I think the only scenario
Really?
is. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I think if Day goes to the pros.
He'd go to Notre Dame.
Yeah, now that Dr. Drake is no longer the president, he slides right back in.
Yeah.
Maybe Notre Dame. Maybe. But Brian Kelly's doing
He
pretty
turned
damn
down
well.
Texas flat out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's – I think he saw the road ahead in Texas.
Absolutely.
Took
Why
a
would
little
you go?
pass on that.
I don't
yeah.
even see
But
Luke
Fickle,
there.
they said Fickle would.
Would you?
That budget at Texas compared to Cincinnati, you're a
but-
big boy team in the Big 12.
Yeah, then in 3 years you're coaching at Akron.
Or you get a statue in 20 years,
Yeah. Yeah, I would wait. I would hang out. Cincinnati's
All
pretty
right,
damn
Torg,
good.
you make $4 million a year. We're going to give you $20 million a
But
year.
they're not-
What's your wife
That's
going to
not
say?
$20 million. They don't
Well,
pay $20 million. They give them $7 million.
What's her? Well,
Yeah.
okay.
So you get $3 million more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you could continue to make $4 million for the next 5-6 years, and then go to a good program. Maybe Ohio State opens up, or you could go to
he's
Texas.
already done that.
You could go to Texas and fit. Look at all the guys who have been rolling out there the last 20 years or 15 years, right?
True.
$4 million's not a bad paycheck. I'll take it.
But look at the coaches that have been through Cincinnati the last 10 years.
Yeah,
and
they all
then
go
he
to big
gets there
jobs.
and stays.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's a big step up.
I'm not
Cincinnati to
I'm not
Texas.
Luke's daddy, but I would probably stay in Cincinnati.
Okay.
I would personally.
Yeah, all right.
Because if it was I was making $1 million and you're giving me your $2 million, but $4 million's pretty good, right? Pretty
good.
Pretty good.
All right, Roy Hall coming up in less than 15 minutes. It'll be our first virtual interview of the day. So you go to Qfm96.com to sign up for the prizes and our giveaways today, and then watch our players. We got a bunch of them. They roll out 7:05 with Roy Hall. First, Christy will keep you up with news. I'll do a little sports. It's Torg and Elliott. Virtual Beat Michigan Breakfast Club, QFM 96.
It's the Torg and Elliott Deep Michigan Breakfast Club. Iconic rock. QFM96.
Hey, we've got a new term for today, boys. Toilet virginity. And I will define it for you. Lots of sunshine until late afternoon, and then clouds. A high today, 60. Clouds tonight, slight chance of showers after midnight, low 45. And showers for your Saturday, about a high 58. It's 36 right now. Oh, sad news. A porch pirate has stolen the Obet Santa. To be specific, the centerpiece of the holiday light show is a dancing Santa. Homeowner Todd Gibbs, his security cameras captured a man walking up to his home around 2:30 in the morning and stealing a $400, 40-pound, 5'8" mechanical Santa that danced to holiday music during Gibbs' light display.
Who does that?
That has nearly 25,000
Steal
lights.
Santa.
So the Santa was the centerpiece, the dancing Santa. The stolen Saint Nick was holding a Santa bag that included the family name embroidered on it. What a Grinch. Gibbs says the culprit can be seen fleeing in a silver Ford Transit van with a yellow logo that is parked right in front of Gibbs' home. Gibbs says that around the same time, this same a-hole can be seen on a neighbor's doorbell cam trying to steal a deflated Halloween decoration on the front lawn. Now, when you steal
times, man.
Well, you know, if you're stealing this kind of stuff, what are you doing with it? You got to display it in your own yard.
And if you put it up in your own yard, hello.
Yeah, I'm coming after you.
Yeah,
I think I told this story before about my buddy decorated their yard during Christmas with like Santa and all these fake presents and a fake snowman. And one day they got home and everything was stolen. And a couple days later, they're a couple blocks down, taking a walk, walking the dog. And they see their display in the neighbor's yard. It's a true story.
But what do you do at that point?
Was it your buddy that did it?
No. They
followed his footprints in the snow?
Yeah, no. They knock on the door and said, hey, by the way, we're Mike and Misty, and we live down the block, and we had a similar, she says, oh, my son got this for me. And he says, this is our.
The lady is,
and then
she didn't have a clue.
But they got everything back, and this kid got his ass,
Right,
so the kid steals everything. He lives 2 blocks away and then gives it to mom.
He's not gonna,
thinks he's not going to get
hero.
caught. Yeah, and it was an immaculate display where
I'm sure.
It's yours. Yeah, what a stupid idiot.
Well, come on, stop stealing the displays. You know what you do is you just find people that have the lit up reindeer and you have them hump each other. That's funny.
Christy, did you see my socially distanced nativity scene on Twitter?
I did not.
Yeah, I put it up yesterday. Yeah.
Oh.
They're all
6 inches apart.
Yeah, the 3 wise men are not close.
Yeah, they're wearing a mask.
Everybody.
The wise men wearing masks. Okay. The maker of Clorox disinfectant wipe says going to be in short supply until the middle of next year. Clorox CEO Eric Reynolds says they've got a good reason for that. They're producing more wipes than ever, but the demand has been incredibly high. We're talking a 500% increase in demand. Reynolds says people just figure, why can't you make more wipes? He notes it's not that simple. Just remember not to hoard the products or you are going to contribute to the shortages. Apparently, a lot of people who fell in love over Zoom had a very different reaction when they finally got to meet in real life. The sparks that flew virtually just don't carry over to real life chemistry. This according to an LA-based marriage, family, and sex therapist. We feel we know this person, but we only really know that presentation of this person. So if you fell in love over Zoom, you were SOL.
Well, that's a Chris Rock bit.
It's a country song.
Yeah.
Fell in love over Zoom. A new toilet, by the way, if you didn't know this, has its virginity until someone sits on it and fouls it up for the very first time. Then it loses its toilet virginity. How did we learn this term? Because of a woman who's only been identified as Nadia from Australia. Some construction workers were redoing her bathroom, and she found evidence the workers had been using said toilet as they worked. So she left them a little note, which she shared on Facebook. Quote, "Dear tradesmen, the toilets in this house are not rightfully yours to use. We are paying for an outdoor toilet for your use. You took the virginity of our toilets. She says she had
strangers on your can, never good.
Not good. She said she had to
Never
scrub the toilet twice because of the workers using it.
That's a popular X-rated movie. Strangers on your can.
Chuck, did you poop at my house? Who was it that came and
I
pooped
didn't
at
poop
my
in your
house? Right in the kitchen too.
That was.
I would never do
There's
that.
a little half bath right off the kitchen. And
That
everyone
was,
together. Who was that?
That was Ross.
Somebody pooped in my kitchen.
When you had us over,
That's another.
when we got together, it was Ross. Okay. Qfm96 Kemba Financial Credit Union traffic. This is for your Friday morning commute. Looking pretty good there on the highways. We got an accident blocking right now. This just happened. 70 west at 270 on the west side. So just be prepared for that. This look at traffic is brought to you by Kemba. Kemba Financial Credit Union's triple benefit new or used car loan gets you up to $500 cash back. No payments for 90 days and monthly savings with rates starting at just 1.99%. That's cash in your pocket. Visit Kemba.org for details or get pre-approved. Better banking begins with Kemba.
All right, let's get going here. We're Thursday night football. This one was a snoozer. The Rams over the Patriots 24-3. Cam Newton did nothing after the game. Bill Belichick said Cam Newton's still our starter. They definitely have quarterback problems in New England. Yeah, they definitely have problems up there. Browns weekend off before Baltimore Monday night. Bengals host the Cowboys. Here's the good news, everybody. So 10 TV doesn't show any. You can't see 10 TV at all right now on AT&T and DirecTV.
Yeah, I don't have it.
So that means a lot of games on Sunday are not going to be on, but since the Bengals host the Cowboys, it'll be a Fox game. So there you go.
Yeah, there you
and
go.
Since the Browns have the weekend off, you're going to be able to watch Ohio football on Sunday. Columbus could have another championship. They host Seattle at home in the MLS final. ABC 6, 8:30. Buckeye men's hoop team is off Sunday. They take on Cleveland State. So they're off the next two nights, and they face Cleveland State. Did you see, Jerry, in the SEC, I think it was the Alabama coach is calling out Coach K. Coach K wants to cancel the season. We got to stop.
Very LSU of them, isn't it?
And then the Alabama coach said if they didn't lose two non-conference games for the first time in history, he wouldn't be calling to cancel the season.
They're having a bad season.
They're having a bad season.
Now we want to shut it down.
Very Michigan-like Coach K.
Michigan, Duke, LSU.
Yes.
Yeah, it seems to be going around.
It does. And that's Sports with Torg and Elliott. We are doing our Beat Michigan Breakfast Club virtually. Go to QFM96.com or you can listen along. Sign up for some great prizes that we'll be telling you about throughout the day. And we do our interviews. Some of our interviews will be virtual. And our first one, he's hulking, he's handsome, and he beat the team up north a lot of times. Roy Hall joins us next.
WLVQ and WLVQ HD Columbus. Torg and Elliott.
You play.
God, I don't know what to ask him. Seems like it's the same conversation every year, but that's nobody knows.
What's that?
I don't know.
Back in 15, Roy.
All right, sounds good.
It's the Torg and Elliott Beat Michigan Breakfast Club. Iconic rock. QFM96.
Yes. And this year we're doing it virtually. If you go to Qfm96.com, click that little logo that pops up, the little video, and you can watch us, including watching our first guest. We start off with this guy every single year. Roy Hall doing it from, it looks like a den. What's up, Roy Hall?
Roy Hall.
Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for having me on. It's awesome.
It looks like you're on like an ESPN set there. You got it down, brother.
Hey, man, you got to do what you got to do in this virtual space, man. You got to be ready to go.
I hear you.
Hey, so tell us the truth now. You got a great backdrop that people can see. How long did it take you to get everything ready? Were you constantly like rearranging things, checking the computer? Because you do a podcast, so I'm sure you already had this set up.
Yeah, it took a while. It took a while to kind of figure out the lighting, figure out the cameras, and get the technology right. But I mean, I've had about 6 months to be able to do it, right? 8 months. So as soon as the pandemic hit, you know, I started doing my research on what we had to do to make sure everything looked the part and felt excellent. You know, we're speaking to professionals, we're speaking to kids, we're training online, podcasts, all that. So it took some hours, but it was worth it.
By the way, you're perfectly centered. Everything is in its place. It's just perfect.
And Christy, you even brushed your hair this morning.
I did. I know.
I brushed my hair as well, though. Didn't you know that? My thing.
So did me and Jerry.
Yeah.
Brushed his teeth, and that's
the glare off my forehead, though. I had to move a light. I was seeing stars the whole first 90 minutes of the show.
Hey, Roy, let me ask you this, and it is what it is with Michigan. I think it was something like 45 cases, but at this point, and we want to point out, though, it wasn't the Big Ten shutting Michigan down. I think Michigan just didn't want to go forward and then risk more spreading of the virus, and then it gets to more kids, and then it becomes a bigger problem than what it already is. But if Michigan's sitting at home 6-0 right now, and yeah, they have some cases, do you roll it out and try to give it a go or not?
No.
Reversed.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason why you would want to do that. You know, COVID-19, as we can see in Franklin County, I mean, the numbers are rising. We were over 11,000 cases here just in Franklin County. I don't know what those numbers are for that state up north. But we have to just do a better job, I believe, as a people to take this seriously. Now, I know the get back to normal has been the speech that everyone has wanted to have. But at the end of the day, it's about being selfless. And I think that no matter what, even here, let me just give you some perspective. Stephen Curry in the NBA shoots about 43% from the three-point line. LeBron shoots about 35% from the three-point line. Stephen Curry is considered the greatest three-point shooter ever. LeBron considered average at best. It's an 8% difference in LeBron shooting threes and Stephen Curry, who's being considered the greatest ever. That 8% is a big margin. A lot of people don't think that wearing masks and all those things are necessary because of their rights. I get all that. And this is not a political statement. But if wearing a mask and saving the lives of the elderly or saving the lives of someone in your family, I know about 5 or 6 people with people in hospice right now and that are going to pass away because of COVID. If that mask or whatever keeps that 8%, gives somebody an 8% chance of living, I'm all for it. So we just got to be careful at saying, hey, let's go play, let's go do this and do that. People's lives are at stake right now, and it's real serious. I mean, we're over 260,000 people that have passed away, and those 260,000 people, I bet, have families and people that love them. So it's very, very important that we make sure we protect everyone.
Well, let me ask you this: let's count the Northwestern game as a win, all right? And
all right, let's do, yeah, for sure.
let's cut that. So that's 6. That's 6 games. Of those 6, what's the best Ohio State win? And is it possible they haven't played it? You don't really know what you have here. You get an 11-win Alabama. I think they kind of know. It's possible they get into the Final Four there, and because we don't know, Ohio State hasn't played anyone, right?
Yeah, the best win of the year, you have to say, is Indiana, and that's how you know it's 2020, where everything is upside down when your best win is against Indiana. and it has to be Indiana. Indiana's still a top 12 football team from a college ranking standpoint. They might be 10 or 11 right now. And so when you look at the board and who we played, that's been the major competition. We beat them by a touchdown, and Indiana showed that they're having a pretty solid season right now. They're posting up all their videos after they beat everybody. I mean, it's Indiana. At the end of the day, they lost to us, and then they have a video that goes viral about their coach saying that we didn't give up. I mean, I don't know how that works, but I mean, whenever you lose, right? And so they were excited about the loss against Ohio State because it was 7 points instead of 70 points like it normally is. So that's the best win. We have to go in and dominate against Northwestern. And then when we get to play against the big boys, I think we'll show up as well. We have everything that we need and all the tools offensively and defensively to be able to compete with those other 3 top teams.
But certainly an advantage to the team that's played 10-12 over a team that's played 6.
Yeah, it's definitely an advantage from a quote unquote practice standpoint. But I think at the end of the day, I mean, we got the tools, right? And when we play against better competition, we'll be able to show that we can hang with the big boys, just like always.
Right.
Roy Hall's with us, and as you can see on your screen at QFM96.com, it says Roy Hall 4 gold pants. So what do you think? And this is just a guesstimate on your part. What about this current players? Because I've seen a whole lot of players on Twitter going, "Do I get gold pants?" What do you think they ultimately do?
Listen, you can't beat not play that team up north and get a pair of gold pants. Those things are earned. And even though they had to cancel the football game, I don't think you could give out a pair of gold pants. I mean, what are you going to put on the back of them for the score? Like didn't play. And so those are earned. And so that those guys that are freshmen are going to have to wait another year to get a pair of those. Maybe they could, make some type of special note or asterisk next to something and maybe just feed them an extra meal. But you got to earn those gold pants.
Yeah, the seniors already have 3. So
there you go. So they're definitely not upset about it.
3 years to earn that.
Where do you do your gold pants? Where are they at?
My mom has a pair. My high school football coach has a pair. I have a pair, and maybe my mom has 2 pair. I mean, they're spread all around. I did keep one for myself from our senior year. When we were making plays out there. I mean, we had a couple little highlights that, I put together, making a couple catches in the big game. And so my senior year, it was good for me to be able to be in position to make some plays. I had scored a touchdown on the first drive and then broke my toe soon after there and had to go sit out a little bit. But I'm thankful to be able to earn my stripes, so to speak.
So, I was reading how over a couple weeks ago how the biggest recruit in Buckeye history, that 5-star quarterback from Texas, is coming in. How big of a part is this game with that school up north when you're getting recruited, when they're recruiting Roy Hall, because you were up in Cleveland, correct?
Yes, sir.
And so when they're recruiting you, how much of this rivalry is in that recruitment pitch? Because obviously the 5-star kid from Texas was coming up here for the game, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he's coming up for the game as much as he's coming up to be the next Justin Fields or Dwayne Haskins or JT Barrett or Braxton Miller or whoever you want to name, the quarterbacks that keep getting put out playing in this great offense of Ryan Day and obviously Coach Urban Meyer. The recruiting pitch is always, when you're in Ohio, they're always going to talk about the rivalry. And here's the thing. They don't need to pitch anything. The last 15 years have been dominated by Ohio State and dominated by us. So they're like, hey, man, look, this is what we do to outsiders. This is what we do if you decide to go talk to those or invest in those guys up north. So it's the record speaks for itself. The coaches don't really have to say too much. We know that Ohio State dominates that rivalry, and it's just another little bullet point of things that they mention, but they don't necessarily have to stress it.
Yeah, I meant he's coming up for the game in his recruiting weekend. You pick this weekend because it's
yeah. You know what? You could, in regards to recruiting, I mean, you could come up for the game, but you just come up to see that loss up from that team up north. I mean, you really want to see what it looks like to dominate your opponent, and that's why you pick this game. Obviously, the game is the biggest game in college football for a reason, and from a recruiting standpoint, I thank you for clarifying that, Torg. From a recruiting standpoint, you definitely want to circle your calendar to travel all the way from Texas all the way up to Ohio in November. That's definitely just more so for the experience, just to get the feel for how dominant Ohio State is and get in that atmosphere.
I'm just learning English, Roy.
When will he be on campus? 22? What year?
Yeah,
how
22,
old is he? What
22.
year in high school is he?
I think he's a junior. Yeah. So he'll be here.
So
22.
a lot of time. Yeah.
You'll have a little bit less hair, Elliott.
I don't think that's possible, is it? I mean, I make a clean shaven by then.
So, take us through your career, 4 gold pants. How many plays on offense would you guys save for this game that you wouldn't show at all during the season that you held especially for this game?
Playing under Coach Trussell, we had a lot of plays in practice that we never showed. And then all of a sudden, in this game versus that team up north, you pull everything out. I mean, that's the entire conversation when you're talking to each other in the locker rooms, when you're talking that entire week. Listen, we're holding nothing back. Everything that we've been developing, everything that we've been training for since spring ball or winter camp or whatever it may be, we're going to lay out right now, because this is how you're going to be remembered. Obviously, if you win a national title, people will remember that team. But at the end of the day, people are going to look at you and say, did you win against that team up north? And how did you beat them? And so Coach Trussell would pull out some plays and do some things. We came out throwing the football against that team up north back in 2006. And it really solidified my good friend Troy Smith winning the Heisman, because all the receivers showed up, the running backs showed up. Beanie Wells had a long run. Antonio Pittman had a long run. All the receivers that started that game scored a touchdown. And so we were able to really start the trend of Ohio State can be a passing football team, and that just carried along the way.
All right, let's talk about
StayDriven.org.
StayDriven.org.
Your foundation. When you're looking at a year like 2020 and you are immersed in it, we're up here living in Westerville or Worthington, Dublin. When you look at a year that we've had, Roy, do you ever sometimes look around at the need and meet these families on a personal level? Does it ever overwhelm you? Do you ever just get frustrated that the amount of need that's out there?
You know what? I get more frustrated at the people that don't make it a priority to just serve your fellow man or fellow woman. One thing that I love about you all, to be completely honest and transparent, is you guys utilizing your platform and allowing me and the likes of others who are making a difference in the community to use that. Use your platform to get the word out, to just let people know not only can you help and support by donating, but you can help and support by volunteering and just doing something on your own, just by paying it forward. We can't say that Coach Woody Hayes was one of the greatest of all time and coined the phrase pay it forward, and then we not embody and embrace that mindset in every single thing that we do. We love the football team, but when football season ends, people are still struggling with homelessness. People are still struggling with putting food on the table. People are still struggling with getting backpacks to their kids. And so we spend $80, $90, $150, $200, $300, $1,000 to go to the OSU Michigan game, but we won't spend $5 for the gentleman who's been sitting outside of Chipotle every single time we go out there. So my job is to leverage this Ohio State logo and let people know that we can make a difference long term. And being a true Buckeye is making sure that we look at and see a fellow Buckeye struggling and do something for it. So it's not overwhelming because it's a responsibility. I feel like it's a calling. And whenever you put on that scarlet and gray, you find out what the problem is and you become a part of the solution. And so I know every single year you guys give me an opportunity to talk about it. Every single Beat Michigan breakfast, we talk pretty much about the same thing. We got the OSU Michigan game, but you got the holiday season where families are struggling. And so I'm appreciative of you guys giving me the opportunity, even if it's repetitive.
Yeah, and we should say go to StayDriven.org, because a lot of people will donate when you're there at Express Live. So if you're going to donate, just donate and go on the website anyway and make a difference, because we get a lot of money for your organization on Beat Michigan. Just because we're doing it virtually doesn't mean you can't give. So go to StayDriven.org and donate today. So on a normal year, Roy, and we've talked to you a lot about the need for our community, and, there's a lot of poverty out there. COVID comes and we talk about businesses shutting down, but it hits businesses hard, it hits people hard. But for the poor community, I mean, it's got to be devastating this year. It probably now more than ever we need to help out.
Yeah, people are really, really challenged, and I got a little video running of some of the stuff that we were able to do before COVID, where we were able to make a difference. You got 1,000 people showing up at a Southside elementary school to receive food. Those saved thousands of people that showed up in the past 12 years to receive food. Those same exact people are in need right now. And so they've lost their jobs. They've kind of been forgotten about. When you have the election coming up and COVID and all these things, we get distracted that these people are still in need. And here's the thing. Right now is the first opportunity where people who have great jobs, that have great careers, that have made a ton of money, that are doing well for themselves, business owners are feeling the same way that the people maybe who have been living in poverty the last 5 or 6 years are feeling because of COVID. And so COVID's balanced the scales, where now someone who may not have needed food, they do need food. Someone who has been able to pay for a $500,000 house can't do it anymore. So the empathy right now that's trending amongst the people is great. And so now those people that have always been in need, the need is a little bit higher, like you mentioned, Torg. And so we just step up. This year, we're going to deliver 200 boxes of weeks worth of food to 200 families. And so we're taking the food to them, putting it on their porches, knocking on their doors, waving from 6 feet away and saying, hey, you're not forgotten about. Hope is one of those things that is established when people show you that they can believe in people. And so I'm thankful for the opportunity, man. And those people are going to be uplifted. If nothing else, they'll have a week's worth of food and not have to worry about things.
You inspire people, Roy.
You certainly do. You're the real deal, and we appreciate it, man.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it so much. Go Bucks, baby.
All right, thanks, Roy.
See you, Roy.
Take
Hall,
care.
what a great
He's
guy.
a beautiful guy, huh?
Yeah, he really is, and doing a great
So
job.
genuine, so genuine.
StayDriven.org, because we know when you come out to Express Live for the Breakfast Club, you give and you do a great job doing it. So if you have that $10, the $20, the $5, whatever you can give, StayDriven.org today. Let's do it. Let's help out. Eddie George.
He's on hold. Eddie's on hold, man.
Eddie George next.
You can't miss the unplanned, unexpected. She's head on keyboards, everybody make some noise!
Or maybe her singing dreams. Sign up for Know Your Drive and save up to 20%. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
Products not available in every state. Discount terms apply. Visit amfam.com/knowyourdrive for details. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
QFM96 Kemba Financial Credit Union traffic injury accident. A new one reported North Hague Avenue and Fisher Road. Still working this accident that happened about 45 minutes ago, blocking the left lane of 70 West right at 270, and that's on the west side. Traffic brought to you by Kemba. Refinance your car at Kemba Financial Credit Union to turn the equity in your car into cash and save money with our triple benefit car loan. Cash back up to $500. No payments for 90 days and rates start at just 1.99%. Better banking begins with a conversation. So let's talk so you can start saving money.
It's the Torg and Elliott Beat Michigan Breakfast Club. Iconic rock. QFM 96.
It is our virtual Beat Michigan Breakfast Club. Hopefully everybody's watching online. QFM96.com. Chris Spielman, JT Barrett, Kirk Barton, Roy Hall, and of course our headliner. He's so handsome. I wish he was on video. Eddie George calling from the Heisman House, right, Eddie?
Yep, that's where I am. I'm tucked away in my suite, the third floor of the Heisman House right now. East wing.
Yeah. Hey, with the Heisman, is that your greatest sports achievement?
It's certainly definitely one of them, for sure. That's it's a wonderful team achievement. If you think about it, represents for me the guys that I played with at Ohio State, Sean Springs, Orlando Pace, Mike Vrabel, Luke Fickell, just to name a few guys, represents that era, and they were much a part of my success more than anything else. So absolutely, I would definitely say that and going to the Super Bowl was definitely one of my greatest sports moments.
Throw in Matt Finkus because I do a podcast with him.
Yes, and Matt Finkus. Yeah.
Hey, that 95 team that you were on, and I think you just mentioned everybody. Would you put that down as one of the greatest Buckeye teams of all time? Because it's sure hard to argue against it.
In terms of talent, yes, I think it was one of the greatest teams. But there are definitely some teams thereafter that you can look to that's won the hardware. Look at the Buckeyes of 2015, Ezekiel Elliott and a few of the other guys that have gone to the NFL. I think Lattimore might have been on that team. I'm not sure, he might be a little bit younger, but just that era of Buckeyes under Urban Meyer certainly could rival that because in terms of talent that's going into the NFL. But that team in '95 was just so special because we all watched each other grow. We all had to wait our turns to get a chance to carry the torch, so to speak, and we made the most of it.
Hey, this is maybe, and we're talking with Eddie George. It's our Beat Michigan virtual breakfast club. This may be a homer question, but I think it's legit. You go over every program in college football. Alabama was down when they had Shula, the coach. Gary Gibbs at Oklahoma after Switzer, their program was down. We've seen Nebraska. We've seen Michigan that we're going to talk about in a little bit. I mean, does this program get enough credit to be on top for the Coop years, the Tressel year, the Woody years, of course, and then all the way through? I mean, this program has never hit a dip, Eddie.
It's been consistent, and a lot of that comes from the leadership. Incredible athletic directors. We've had some amazing presidents to bring in the right leader, so to speak. And, to find someone that can come in and run a program like Ohio State's football program, you're taking on the role of a CEO. It's a Fortune 500 company, and it's a 800-pound gorilla. So there's a lot of factors that go into it. Now you just can't be a great coach and great motivator of young men. You have to acquire great talent in terms of recruiting, acquire great talent in terms of the coaching staff, that the guys you have around you. You have to sell a plan. There's so much that goes into it, and it can easily fall off the rails. And to pass the torch from John Cooper to Jim Tressel, and then from Jim, actually Luke Fickell coached for over half a season for a year, and then on to Urban Meyer and now John Day. It's kind of been seamless. So the standard has been set at Ohio State, and the system has been there. But we've had some really amazing guys come in, great leaders come in and take over the helm.
All right, so let's talk about Michigan. So what was your record against Michigan when you played?
My record was 1-2-1.
1-2-1. What was it about? Because you look back at those Coops teams, and he was kind of very urban-like because he could recruit players from different states and get the guys from Florida and get guys like you, and had so much talent on that team. But yet that was kind of the one Achilles heel of that era, right? Was beating Michigan.
Yeah, without a doubt. And you got to understand that Michigan was just as talented. They had their run. It was reminiscent in the 90s of what's happened now, in terms of acquiring the talent, like you mentioned, having the mindset. It's more about a mindset than anything else, of having that rival just had your number for whatever strange reason, no matter what. So that's kind of where they are. And that's how it was for us. We were coming out of the dark ages at that particular time. John Cooper came in, had a couple of decent years, but he was really just getting started in the mid 90s. And, the thing around the facility was beat Michigan. We made it a thing. And it was one of those things that was one of those mental hurdles that we just could not jump over when it really counted. And I think all that changed when Jim Tressel got there. It was the mindset and the expectation was to beat Michigan and make it a serious priority.
We ask every player when they come on, and usually we do this at Express Live, Eddie, and we fill the place, and there's 1,000 people, and we get all you Buckeyes on the stage, and we always ask every Buckeye, tell us a little-known story about the game. We've had guys who said, I've hit a Michigan player so hard I don't even remember like a quarter of the game. In that rivalry, tell us a good story, bad story, whatever it is that maybe people don't remember.
Well, it was in '94 when we played Michigan at Ohio Stadium, and one of the Michigan players came out and said that they were wanting to get Coach Cooper fired. And we adored Coach Cooper, and we knew that if we lost that game, that things would be completely different around there. And that put us in a position to go out and play the games of our lives. We were willing to die. And I remember, at halftime, we were beating Michigan. We had the game in hand, and the momentum was all shifted our way. You can kind of sense that we were close to the finish line, close to victory. But it was going to take a huge effort in the second half to close the door, to put the nail in the coffin and put this baby to bed. And Cooper gets up, and he never does this. I mean, He's very mild-mannered, very matter-of-fact. We're giving a halftime speech with this one here. He was irate. He was emotional. He was passionate. And there was a chalkboard right behind him. And he said, listen, let's go out here and let's get the job done. Let's, kick their ASS and let's finish the job. And he turns around and punches this chalkboard in half. And we went bananas. We knew then that Michigan didn't have a chance. And that based off of his energy and his passion, his love, we were able to go out there and secure the victory.
Did you ever hear the Mike Tomczak talking to the team before the 2002 championship game story?
I did not.
Okay, I can't say it on the air, but next time I see you, I'll tell you.
Okay.
It's a really good story. It's really what he said to the team to get them motivated, and the team was going, and then he said something, and it was just kind of complete silence, but it was funny. So you come in every now and then, so we'll tell you. I'll tell you the story. Eddie George is with us, virtual Beat Michigan Breakfast Club here. So you're a smart dude. You're an analyst. And you look at Jim Harbaugh, and they've changed the coaching staff. Some of the former coaches are striving with Ohio State. You got a great defensive coordinator in Don Brown. But also, you can't come into next season, Eddie, you know this, with a lame duck coach with a year left on his contract because recruits aren't going to want to sign there. What does Michigan do with Jim Harbaugh? Because the guy can coach, no?
I think he can coach. I think, my personal opinion, I think it's a disconnect with maybe the president, chancellor, the AD, and Jim Harbaugh. I think it runs a lot deeper than just Jim Harbaugh. Clearly, everywhere Jim has been, he, good, bad, or different. People may think he's weird or he has a unique style of coaching, a different personality. But the man can coach. He's been successful everywhere he's been. And sometimes when you walk into a situation, the budget may not be right. It may be a disconnect in terms of philosophy. If you go back to earlier this year, when we were trying to figure out games, there was even a disconnect on whether Michigan was going to play games versus them wanting to play games. So when you have that, you're not on the same page. You have two different ideals. There becomes friction. And then, unfortunately, that permeates into the makeup of the team and what's happening there in their psyche. So I don't know if getting a new head coach is the answer for Michigan, a new hire. I think overall philosophy, a clear direction and vision for where the program needs to go. It needs a new overhaul. So it's not a Band-Aid. I think just getting a head coach is another Band-Aid when this situation needs internal surgery.
Yeah. Hey, and so you think ultimately, though, like I mentioned, because you can't recruit a kid and say, well, I only have one left on my deal. Ultimately, you think he's going to re-sign?
I don't know. I don't know what they plan on doing. I would think so. I don't know. I think they have to get into a room, go into the upper room, close the door, hash out their differences, or part ways. But clearly, the administration, they got to figure out, what's best for their program and what direction they're going to go in. Because they don't have to press the reset button yet again. We went from Rich Rod to Brady Hoke, and went from Brady Hoke now to Jim Harbaugh. And they're going to have to bring in a whole nother system, a whole new guy. We recruit some different kids. So in my mind, recruiting is the last thing on my mind. I think they can get guys, but what is the direction? What is the vision? What is the culture at Michigan? They can't run the football, period. That's one thing that stands out to me. And there was a point in time when they used to push out 1,000-yard rusher at the 1,000-yard rusher, from the Tyrone Wheatley's to Ricky Powers. And the list goes on. Tim Biaka-Patuka, Anthony A-Train, Anthony Thompson. So, it's just, they don't have an identity with that. And that's kind of where they need to redefine who they are, where they're going to go and stick with the plan and go with it.
I find you, Eddie George, and thanks for coming on our virtual Beat Michigan party. I find you interesting from this standpoint. I think it's very cool when whether you act or you do analyst work, because you've been on TV, you've been on radio, you've done stuff. And you have a likability factor that not a lot of people have, whether you're on stage or you're in a movie or whatever you do. Was that something where maybe you took acting lessons or knew when you were young I have to, do this. I mean, talk about your likability factors. That's something you had to work on, or you even know you do it?
I don't know. I mean, it's not saying, "Hey, I'm gonna wake up and work on my likability." I don't know if that's the thing to do. I think,
but Barkley has that too. You know what I mean? Certain guys have that.
Well, but Barkley, that's what makes Barkley. It's authentic. It's just being who you are, being comfortable in who you are, and just working on being a good person. I think right from wrong, and I work on personal development. I'm always pushing the envelope with myself in terms of my education, my businesses, the people that I'm around. Always redefining myself and constant in the stage of refinement, being better. So I appreciate that, but it's not something that I consciously work. I don't know if I can work on that. I mean,
I have to, Eddie.
I wish I could have that like ability with my wife. She thinks differently.
I'm with you there. But you know what though? I work on it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
To try to, when you're doing radio, is like, how do I be likable? Or, because you're a human being and you got to go on the air. So I'm honest with it. I work on it. I'm failing, but I'm working on it.
Now, but man, you have a likable voice. You seem pleasant. You're asking me, you're giving me softball questions. I love it.
yeah. Hey, So last one for you is, if you ever thought, what do you? Well, first of all, we should ask, what do you got coming up acting wise? Because coronavirus kind of killed everything, huh?
Yeah, it did. On the acting front, kind of took a stalemate. There are some projects that I'm talking through as we speak. But more or less, it's this coronavirus has been a blessing and a curse. The curse, of course, people are being affected by the virus, losing loved ones and so forth. But the blessing in it is, it allowed me to sit and be quiet with my family, to work efficiently from my home, to work on other aspects of my business in totality, and really push forward to have an incredible 2021. And really, allowed me to just to sit and be still for a moment, something I haven't done in forever. I've never had this much time not to travel and not to be in a certain city day after day. And it's been great. I had a chance to work on my golf game finally. So it's not as bad as it used to be. So, so I've had a chance to do all of that. And God willing, if an opportunity, the right acting role comes along, so be it. I open it and I welcome it. And I'm working on some other projects as well.
Has your wife asked you to do any honey-do list? I mean, it's 9 months. Like, Eddie, I want a bigger closet, or Eddie, let's paint a room.
Man, we have cleaned out the storage rooms twice. We have cleaned the attic a couple of times, the office, our bedroom. She's reorganized the closets, reorganized the pantry, in alphabetical order.
Oh, boy.
Yes. So she's bored. So for her Christmas, we're going to drive down to Florida, rent a house and just go on the beach and just relax. We all need a change of scenery, a change of environment. It's just been one long year.
Yeah, it has, hasn't it? It really has.
And it's been really an interesting year overall with sports, so lives, prominent figures dying, an election year, a pandemic, a lot of natural disasters, so when you really think about it, I mean, honestly, how they do a year in review, like on the night of the, New Year's Eve, and they look at all. I don't want to see that.
It just might be a fart this year, Eddie.
It should be. Let's just not even review the year of who passed away and what happened. That just conjures up some really bad feelings, I think, for a lot of people.
Absolutely. And I can't wait when you get to Columbus, when this is all over, we can have you in studio again. And thanks for coming on our Beat Michigan Breakfast Club, Eddie.
All right, man. Go Bucks, brother.
All right. Take care.
When you venture out this holiday season, you might hear a lot of this. And hopefully, not too much of this. But what you really want to hear when winter gets grueling actually sounds more like this. Because with Kia's new lineup of winter-ready vehicles, winter wouldn't dare make a sound. Hurry into Kia's Command the Season event and get the deals you've been waiting for all year long. Save on select models like the 2021 Sportage, Telluride, K5, Stinger, and Seltos, all loaded with advanced tech and safety features built to handle the toughest roads. And right now, get 0% APR for 66 months plus 1,000 holiday bonus cash. Or get 2,500 customer cash on the 2021 Sportage. So when winter comes calling, you'll be ready to command the season. Kia, give it everything.
Call 800-333-4Q for details. Must take delivery by 1/4/21. Subject to dealer participation. Financing from Kia Motors Finance and approved credit for.
Lizzie Andrews, make some noise for me! Hey, turn it up! I'm working hard, I'm working too. Take time.
with JT Barrett. JT, how are you?
What's going on, guys? How are we doing?
Do you know offhand how many records you've set at Ohio State in the Big Ten?
No, sir.
Well, you're humble, and that's good.
Yeah, but that's pretty damn impressive. Hey,
I mean, a lot of it. I mean, you think about it, a lot of it. I played my redshirt freshman year. I feel like a lot of those came from that year, which was really good for us. We won the national championship, but like from that year, it was I didn't remember all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, let's switch gears and go to the Big Ten. When you look at that team up north in the season that they're having, do you? I mean, obviously, as a Buckeye, you take enjoyment out of that. But wouldn't it be better for the rivalry if they won just enough to be good, so the rivalry would kind of be back, or is it better just you wish they always lose?
I mean, the Buckeye in me wishes that they lose every game.
Yeah.
So
well, you're honest.
I'm not that upset, but I mean, they got good players up there. So I mean,
I don't get it.
I mean, yeah, I don't.
Wow.
There's a lot of things that go into winning, losing. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. So it's tough to put your finger on that one thing. But at the end of the day, they got good players up there at Team North. That's what it is. And it's always a battle when we play, the game. So. With that being said, I mean, the record is what it is, but at the end of the day, when we play the game against Team North, they're going to be juiced up ready to play, so I don't think it really matters when it comes to that game,
Yeah, when Urban takes over, and I'm sure you heard from different guys on the team, you go from Tress to Fickle. How did Urban approach Michigan week?
I thought it was one of the great things that being part of with Coach Meyer, it was the responsibility that it meant to everybody. I feel like I talk about that like when we talk about the game. It was just, I feel like you did a great job on giving the guys the understanding of that. This means a lot to a lot of people, like it's bigger than what you may think of it or just the football team. Like it means a lot to people around the country who are part of Buckeye Nation and people of Ohio. You know what I'm saying? Like that, that means a lot to people. So with that, it wasn't one of those things like, oh, that's just a game. Like, what are you talking about? It's the Team of North. Like, we don't like them. They don't like us. And at the end of the day, we need to win to represent the state of Ohio well. So all that putting said, like it was, winter workouts and we're doing stuff for the Team of North. Or I remember spring ball, we were preparing. We had like a period that it was like we called it the Team of North period where, like we got to win that game. So it didn't matter what time of year it was. There was eyes lit up and, eyebrows, were raised when it came to, we're talking Team of North because we knew that attention on that was very important. So I thought that was a really cool thing about it and made everybody lock in and know like, hey, this just isn't one of those, just a game because it's not.
He is Buckeye legend JT Barrett. And, when I listen to you talk, and I know you're young, you're still in spring ball, you're fit, but you almost sound, as I listen to you, is there any coaching in your future, do you think, maybe as you get a little bit older?
I mean, look, when I was in school, Coach Meyer kept on talking that out loud, and, about coaching. I don't know, man. I got a lot of respect for the coaches that I've had, and that's a tough job.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of people, I don't know, really understand the different things that go into it and, time away from family and different things.
Yeah.
That's tough. So I don't know if I'm
cut out
ready
for that.
To be up for that, but I definitely, like I said, the appreciation for, the coaches and what they do is definitely big.
JT, Cardell is a frequent guest on this show. Take us back, because tell us the truth, because we're all human beings. So you get hurt in that Michigan game, and I'm not using Google. I think the Buckeyes were up by 7 or 10, right? So were you thinking at the time, holy crap, I'm hurt, but man, I feel like I'm letting these guys down? Because you don't know what Cardell came in and was great, but you don't really know what the backup is going to do when you're out. Did you feel a sense of, I'm letting my team down at all?
I mean, not really. I think, I'd say not really, not at all. Because it was something I really couldn't control, like, I was running the ball trying to get a first down and, I just, somebody leaned back and my ankle snapped. So that when you think of it like that, it was just like, well, could I do anything about that? Not really, right?
Yeah.
So,
True.
I didn't think about that. But in the moment, all I was thinking about was win the game because that's like, I was in the game playing, and then when I got out, it was just like, we still got to win the game. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, whatever that means, we still have to win that football game. So that was really my mindset. Like afterwards, I didn't think about, is Cardale gonna be all right, this and that. Like I didn't cross my mind.
You just wanted to win.
You think of the game, guys, and the amount of people there. Doesn't that seem like a long time ago?
People in stands.
Isn't it so weird, JT, to watch these games? Wow.
I thought I was the only one that recognized that, but watching
it's weird. Yeah.
Like you see people in the stands, and it's just like that's not normal right now.
Right.
It's weird.
Yeah. So JT, everybody roots for you here. Is Columbus your home?
No, I live in Dallas right now, but I make my trips up to Columbus for sure. So,
yeah, a guy like you could make money off Columbus just by beating JT Barrett.
Yeah, Columbus. I love Columbus being up there. I was, away for 5 years being up there in school, so I came back to Dallas closer to family and stuff like that. But I come up to Columbus often. I love it up there still.
Hey, tell us how it is being a young guy with Drew Brees and Ben Roethlisberger. That's got to be kind of cool.
Was that intimidating?
No, not intimidating. I mean, they're great human beings.
Yeah,
and they don't. It's really wild. I mean, you see, obviously, they do great at their jobs on Sundays, right? But then outside of that, regular guys. I was with Drew, the longest, and you see how he works and the time he puts into his craft and things like that, and you recognize, these are regular, humans, but they put a lot of time in to their craft, and that's what makes them really special. So it was really cool to see and watch those guys be great.
Yeah, the Saints are really special that time.
Yeah, they really are.
Yeah.
So what's up with you for the rest of the year? Are you just kind of doing the spring league and then just see what happens? Kind of because you're kind of under the COVID. We got to see what happens with that, right?
Yeah, that's how it is. I think I'm not up to date exactly what's the rules on now bringing in guys with the COVID stuff happening as far as the NFL goes. But really finishing up the spring league, finish up winning games here with the opportunity we have here. And then with that, hopefully that film takes us into the next season as far as, getting picked up somewhere on a futures contract. So that's really kind of the plan right now. And then I think that there's another opportunity with the spring league and the actual spring that's coming up. So, it's still out here playing, staying ready. You never know.
Well, we are watching and pulling for you. You're a credit to the program and all your coaches over the year. Thank you so much, JT. We really appreciate it.
I appreciate you guys having me.
All right, man.
Have a good one.
With thousands of locally owned Napa stores across the nation, chances are that wherever you call home,
Okay, just drop.
Grismer Tires credit card offers 5% off, 6 months deferred interest, and no annual fees.
It's the Torg and Elliott Beat Michigan Breakfast Club. Iconic rock. QFM96.
OH! QFM 96 Kemba Financial Credit Union traffic. An accident still working North Hague Avenue and Fisher Road, but for the most part, the highways moving along smoothly for your Friday morning. And it's brought to you by Kia. Are you an automotive technician looking to advance your career? Celebration Kia in Lewis Center needs technicians now. Whether you're a seasoned professional or brand new, we need you. Stop wasting time in that dead-end job. Come get paid for what you're worth today. Visit celebrationkia.com for more details.
All right, if you're watching us virtually on QFM96.com, you hear our house band, Stadium 11.
Yeah,
Jerry?
Stadium 11, we have to say thank you so much. We know
it's been a weird year for them.
An odd year, but killing it this morning when we go to commercials if you're listening just on the radio. But if you're online with us, you've been seeing Stadium 11 all morning long.
Yep. You see them when we're off the air. Now let's hear them
They're
on
in the
air.
basement.
They are. We have them in the basement.
There it is.
Yes, we dry locked the basement. They are down there. So let's hear them on the air, QFM 96.
This is WLVQ and WLVQ HD Columbus. Torg and Elliott.
Yes! Oh, rise and shine, campers!
Broadcasting from the Columbus Radio Group in the...
Give me a job, give me security. Give me a job, give me security. Give me a chance to survive. I'm just a person in the unemployment line. I gotta have the line. My brother and father, a wife and my friends, see them laughing in my face. 'Cause I got the power, hey, I've got the will. I'm not a charity case. I take those long nights, impossible nights, keeping my back to the wall. It takes to be just what I am. Gonna be a blue collar man. Make me an offer that I can't refuse. Make me respectable man. This is my last time in the unemployment line. So like it or not, I'll take those long nights, impossible nights, keeping my eye to the keyhole. It takes to be just what I am. I gotta be a blue collar man, keeping my mind on a better life. Where happiness is only a heartbeat away. Paradise, can it be all I heard it was? Well, I close my eyes, baby, I'm already there. Take those long nights, impossible night, keeping my eye to the keyhole. It takes to be just what I am. I gotta be a blue collar man. You don't understand. 'cause for once, keeping my back to the world it takes to trust that I am. I gotta be a blue collar ball, I'll be a blue collar ball, I'll be a blue collar man.
Last week that there's no way Ohio State and Michigan were going to play.
That is true. You did.
Well, that's
say
what we
that.
were going to get to. That
That's we were just going to.
I said Jim Harbaugh sat in his office 3 weeks ago, had all his coaches in there. He said, "Guys, I don't know what I'm doing. I just haven't got it done here. But and if I'm going to head back to the NFL, I'm not going to do it losing to Ohio State 58-0. I'm just not going to do it. So, guys, here's what we got to do. I need a break out of COVID, and we got to cancel the Maryland game because that sells the fact that we can't play Ohio State. So that's what we got to do. We're going to sacrifice Maryland, and then because I'm not playing Ohio State. I'm not going out like that. I'm not going to subject Michigan fans to me losing every game to Ohio State. And the last one I lose is 58-0 because they got to make a statement to get into this whole playoff thing. So, guys, we're canceling Maryland. We got a COVID breakout. And then that sets the table for me saying the next week that we don't have enough players to play and we're sorry and the game's canceled. So get on the recruiting trail, start making some phone calls, let's get some kids in here, and I'll let you guys know when I meet with the AD what I'm doing.
What'd you think of that line?
Yeah, that was an all-time
Michigan
high.
plus 30. What would you take on that game?
Plus 60.
Really?
They suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rutgers, they had to go to overtime, but they couldn't stop Rutgers. I'm sorry. You can't stop Rutgers. You're not going into the horseshoe stopping them.
True.
This week last year, you only had 4 college games. You had Army-Navy, and then you have the 3 Division II or 4 Division II playoff games.
Yeah.
Or Division I, you had North Dakota State playing and game day was at North Dakota State, whatever the case may be. You got a full slate, and here you go with Army-Navy, and I'm going to say it on your show this year, just like I said it on your show last year. Army-Navy under the posted total. And last year, they went under for the 14th straight year. Guys, this year, Army, have your producer put this clip away.
Okay.
Tuck it away for a year.
We're marking it.
Army-Navy will go under the posted total of 38. Army-Navy will go under the posted total for the 15th straight year. So there you go. That starts our
takes the under. That's our lock. We did the lock first.
Yeah. What about the Big Ten? Anything? A lot of big numbers, a lot of double-digit games in the Big Ten.
Why does the line maker think Wisconsin's so good?
Yeah.
Yeah, just past reputation, I guess. Previous.
We're, you're Columbus, we're Ohio State, we're basically a Big Ten type, true freshman quarterback, starts off the year, plays Illinois and Michigan. And people celebrating this team like they are the greatest thing in the world. And they struggle to score 7 points against Northwestern. They struggle to score 6 points at home against Indiana and lose 2 in a row. And now they're a 1-point favorite at Iowa against a Hawkeye team that in a look-ahead letdown situation took care of business at Illinois. Yeah, they struggled with Nebraska at home, but they went into Penn State and blew Penn State out, who actually has won and covered every game since then. Went into Minnesota and blew them out, and blew Michigan State out. Their first 2 games of the year. 0-2. Could have laid down. They've won literally 5 in a row, and they're on fire. I don't get it. Give me Iowa all day long plus the 1.
Hey, in the NFL, I got to hand it to the Browns for barely beating some bad teams. And I mean barely. Jacksonville was a 2-point conversion from tying them. They played every bad team and barely squeaked by. They, that game was closer than it should have been at the end there. But the Browns.
Impressive last week, though.
Yeah, getting a point against Baltimore at home. Do you ride the Browns Monday night?
Ride them. The Baltimore Ravens laying 1 at Cleveland. Sorry, boys. And people I've heard like the Ravens in this game. Yeah, good luck with that. I like Cleveland plus the 1. Another game I like. Okay. Now, let me set this up for you, okay? The worst team in the NFL, the worst defense in the NFL, the Dallas Cowboys, are a 3.5-point road favorite at Cincinnati.
Hey, do you still like the Bills minus 2.5?
Boys, it doesn't matter. I'll say it again. Pittsburgh is the most overrated 11-1 team I've seen in the last 30 years. They haven't played anybody. They can't stop anybody. They went into Dallas and should have lost to the worst team in the NFL with no defense and struggled against a quarterback that was working at Louis Burgers somewhere in the country and got signed off a practice squad of the Toronto Argonauts and brought him in and literally almost beat the Pittsburgh Steelers outright. The Buffalo Bills are a legit football team with legit reasons to play. And at 9-3, they are not losing this game against this Pittsburgh Steelers squad. Like I said, I like your Bengals. I like them plus the 3.5. The Saints have Kansas City next week. I would say both Miami and Philadelphia are in a great spot, plus touchdowns. I think look ahead for both of those teams. So I think you got 2 more home dogs there that I think are going to sniff around. And last but not least, listen, the whole world missed Buffalo over the Niners on Sunday night. So here's my question to you. Do you really think Nick Mullins is going to beat the Washington Redskins? Yes or no?
No.
Why is Frisco -3?
Yeah.
The Washington Redskins are balling right now. I mean balling since Alex Smith became their quarterback. Balling. They beat Dallas 25-3.
Great story.
They let a win and get away against the Giants. They let a win and get away against the Detroit Lions. They dominated Cincinnati. They dominated Dallas. They dominated Pittsburgh. I mean, boom, boom, boom. You look at their other loss. They lost to Washington. Lost to the Giants by 1. Ravens got them and Cleveland got them. This is an unbelievable football team that Ron Rivera has playing very well, and you're giving me 3 at Frisco? If Nick Mullins beats me, that's fine. So Washington plus the points. Yes, you got some juicy stuff. So best bets, Washington plus the points. The Bengals are a best bet. Keep riding them. Keep riding the Buffalo Bills over the Pittsburgh Steelers. And listen, don't be surprised to see the Jags give Tennessee fit. Tennessee's got no defense.
You know what? I wrote that down because Jacksonville, the last 4 or 5 games, have played teams really tough.
Played them really tough. Letdown situation for Tennessee. Jacksonville plus 7.5. So home dogs, Jacksonville, Philadelphia, Miami, best bet, Cincinnati, Washington Redskins, boys. That's like Jim Valvano. If you laugh, you think, and you cry, that's a big day. That's a good day.
BrandonLang.com is the site. You're the best, buddy.
Thank you.
Buckeyes, 50-point win over Northwestern, giving it to you early.
Thanks, Brandon.
All right, guys, be good.
'Twas the month.
Pressure pushing down on me, pressing down on you. No man has come under pressure. The pressure's building down, splits the family in two. It's people on the streets. Ba-ba-ba, ba-ba-ba, dee-da-da, dee-da-da. That's okay. It's a time knowing what this world's about. Watching some good friends scream, let me out. What's tomorrow? Gets me higher. There's long people on the streets. Da-da-da. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Okay. Shifting around, kicking my brains around the floor. These are the days it never rains, but it pours. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. Oh, da-da. People on the streets, da-da-dee-da-da. People on the streets, da-da-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da. Since I know what this world's about, watching some difference, let me on. Tomorrow, it's high, high, high. From it all, like a blind man, sat on the fence, but it don't work. Keep coming up with love, it's a slashing toe. Why? Why can't we give ourselves one more chance? Why can't we give love that one more chance? Why can't we give love, give love, give love, give love, give love, give love, give love? There's love such an old fashioned word, and love is you to care for the people on the edge of the night, and love dares you to change our way of caring about ourselves. This is our last dance. This is our last dance. This is ourselves. Under pressure, under pressure, pressure.
Giant Eagle Pharmacy for your best defense against the flu. Giant Eagle Pharmacy, your trusted pharmacy for 40 years. Restrictions apply. See pharmacy for details.
Michael Evans Hollywood Report with Torg and Elliott on QFM96.
Hey, Michael.
Hey, good morning. Good morning, everybody. It is Movie Review Friday, and while there's not really a lot going on, the movie The Prom, starring Nicole Kidman and Meryl Streep on Netflix this weekend, is about a Broadway cast after a show reading a newspaper article about a small Illinois high school who won't allow two girls to attend the prom together. They get so upset they leave New York and they go to this Illinois high school and try to set the school straight. Funny, entertaining, a little bit of a chick's flick with the music involved, but I liked it. 3 stars. The other movie that has Meryl Streep in it is HBO's Max, Let Them All Talk. This is another good Meryl Streep movie, and I'm not a big fan of hers for some very different reasons. Not very nice to the media. But anyway, she's really good in this movie. Meryl and 2 old friends and a nephew take a cruise, and then they realize while on the cruise, boy, they got a lot to learn about each other. Very good writing. Really liked it. 3 stars. However, don't let me catch you wasting your time or money on The Stand-In. Stars Drew Barrymore in a horrible, ridiculous, poorly written piece of crap.
Our buddy T.J. Miller was talking to us about this last week.
Yeah, he
2
sure
weeks
was.
ago.
Did he like it?
Well, he was in it. He's in it. He plays the manager.
I stopped.
Is it bad?
I got a screener, and I had to stop it and go in the closet and hide. It was so bad.
Okay, so then it's bad, is what you're saying. Okay.
You can buy it on Prime. This is one time where Rotten Tomatoes and I agree. They gave it a 10 out of 100.
Woo!
That's as bad as it gets. Johnny Depp just won't cut his losses. Now he's doubling down, spending millions of dollars on lawyer fees, challenging the wife-beating court decision. My question: why? I mean, even if the decision is overturned, which it won't be, the bell can't be unrung. But his best friend, Tim Burton, all these years, sticking with him, gave Johnny Depp a starring role in The Addams Family, which starts shooting next year, January.
Oh, they're doing a live version. Okay, because I saw the animated one with my kids, and
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
TV news, Ellen's TV show is going to be canceled. She's tried everything to avoid, defect, defend, deny, ignore her mean, abusive behavior, but now more and more crew is quitting. Some are threatening to sue. Ratings are down. Sponsors are bailing. The network says they've had enough.
And then yesterday, now she's positive for COVID.
COVID, yeah.
isn't that? But she's had a bad year.
Yeah.
That's not good. And I usually
She'll
don't
be okay, Mike. She's used to licking things.
Yeah, now you had to go there, don't you?
Yeah. She'll
always thinking
recover.
Something to eat, aren't you?
Yeah.
This is a politic nugget that I usually wouldn't bring to the table, but I wanted to share it with you. A buddy, a member of Congress, says he doesn't know how, when, where, or why, but he says, I'm going to make you a $20 bet. I go, what is it? He goes, I bet that Kamala Harris will be the president of the United States within 2 years.
Oh, I would take that bet.
I would too. I think almost anybody would.
Yeah, I took the bet, yeah. Now, a lot of folks will be Christmas shopping. And by the way, this time, let me give you a few picks, okay?
All right, go ahead.
Okay. I like Green Bay over Detroit. Give the points. All right?
Mm-hmm.
I like there's one here I thought you're going to be surprised at. There's one here. I like the Chargers over Atlanta at home. And I like Cleveland over Baltimore.
Yeah, Brandon Lang had that one. His lock, though, Mike, was the under in Army-Navy.
The under in Army-Navy. That's probably a good bet.
14 straight years.
I'll be watching that. That's my favorite game of the year.
Yeah, it's a great game.
Yeah.
Dad been in the Navy for 28 years. We used to go to it. It was highlight. Oh, it's Aloha Friday, and we're to Monday. We're going to play the Aloha Friday. Kulikamaka, holy maka, hiki holili yokalani, kalani ani oli ke, lakaku, and a kaka, hooey, 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 ho.
Bye-bye. The things that end up in the toy donation box. Lots of sunshine till late afternoon, then clouds. Going to have a high 60. Clouds tonight. Slight chance of showers after midnight, a low 45. And showers for your Saturday, high 58. It is 37 right now. So Governor DeWine and the Ohio Department of Health issued a set of statewide protocols for people to follow to slow the spread of COVID-19, along with the extension of the curfew until January 2nd. DeWine said he asked for help and guidance from 12 doctors and health experts across the state to develop these protocols, which are stay home, wear the mask, keep interactions short and stay apart, wash your damn hands, work from home, celebrate safe, celebrate small, don't eat or drink with anyone outside of your household, limit travel, keep weddings and funerals safe, and enjoy safe holiday activities. Those are the protocols that the governor had laid down for us for the next 21 days.
I have a message to people who are watching us on Qfm96.com about that story.
Yawn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sleepy.
It's going to be a sleepy holiday season if we abide by the governor anyways, which most people will.
Time Magazine has named President-elect Joe Biden and VP-elect Kamala Harris 2020's Person of the Year. They beat out Donald Trump, Dr. Anthony Fauci, the frontline healthcare workers, and the movement for racial justice. Other honorees include LeBron James, BTS, and Zoom CEO Eric Yuan. They got named Athlete, Entertainer, and Business Person of the Year, respectively.
I don't know.
We hold these truths to be self-evident.
I don't know how.
All men and women created by you know the thing.
Couldn't have been Fauci. It had to be Fauci, right? If you had to pick one person.
You would think, but
or
no.
Frontline workers.
Or frontline workers. I would have done frontline workers.
True.
It's their only chance. Winner frontline workers. Biden and Harris are going to win it for the next 4 years if chosen. If they're still around.
No, it'll be some other woke person next year.
But if they didn't win it this year and they gave it to frontline workers, they would win it next year, or the year after, or the year after.
At some point, yeah. It's the season of giving for McDonald's. So beginning this coming Monday and running all the way through Christmas Eve, the eatery is giving away different menu items.
The what?
McDonald's is. The eatery
McDonald's.
is giving away different menu items, totally free. So each and every day, a different holiday character will be featured, and the free item will be in their honor. So characters like Frosty and Buddy and the Grinch will be included, and even characters from movies like Christmas Vacation, Gremlins, and Die Hard will be celebrated. The promotion wraps with free chocolate chip cookies in honor of Santa on Christmas Eve. You'll need the McDonald's app if you want to partake in all the fun.
So you get a toy, and then they give you
Not bad. And cops in Greenwood, Louisiana found something rather unexpected in a box of donated toys. For years, they've been collecting toys for the less fortunate through their Operation Santa Claus event, which is absolutely wonderful. This, however, was the first time that one of the donated toys also had a little added bonus, a bag of weed.
That's the problem.
That's a really happy meal.
Yes. In their Facebook post, the police say, I guess it's the thought that counts, but marijuana isn't a good gift to put in the toy donation box. Oh, and an update, the conversation we had earlier about whether or not DC grows his own. He says he's got a guy. It's the same guy where he got his dog from as well.
Good people don't smoke marijuana.
Don't smoke marijuana. Qfm96 Kemba Financial Credit Union traffic. No accidents so far. Moving along on the highways for your Friday morning commute. And it is brought to you by Kemba Financial Credit Union. The holiday shopping countdown is on. Shop with a new 0% interest rate Visa from Kemba Financial Credit Union. Pay no interest for 12 months on purchases and up to 12 months on balance transfers. Plus, earn cash back. Limited time only. Apply now at Kemba.com.
T-shirt store, 441 East Hudson.
Oh, mama, I've been feeling for my life on the long arm of the law. Lawman is putting into my running, and I'm so far from my home. Oh, mama, I can hear you crying, you're so scared and all alone. Hey, man, it's coming down from the gallows, and I don't have very long. Finally found me, dedicated to anything, she's all about me. I'm gonna run the stage, it's a meaning and today, wonderland. Oh, mama, I've been years on the land, and Lord, bless you, Jesus, now it's my story. See your mama, I can feel you crying, so scared of hey, man, it's coming down from the gallows, I know. Secrets and roses, I finally found me. Renegade, animated, straight for the mountain. Never gonna say, just look how much it from the law, I'm a good law. And it's coming down from the gallows, and I don't have
Hey, it's Torg and Elliott. We are doing our virtual Beat Michigan Breakfast Club now because Michigan canceled doesn't mean that Torg and Elliott canceled. Make sure you get registered at Qfm96. Not only can you watch the broadcast today, but you can register for a chance to win prizes from the Lion's Den or the grand prize of a new weed whacker and leaf blower from Vernon Dell Tractor. So just click on the virtual Beat Michigan Breakfast Club post and sign up below the live stream video. It's the virtual Beat Michigan Breakfast Club with Torg and Elliott presented by Vernon Dell Tractor.
Just a skinny lad, but no proof from there. I knew life before I left my nursery. Left alone with big fat Fanny. She was such a naughty Mary. He big woman, you made a bad boy out of me. Hey, hey. I've been sitting in my bed, across the water, across the land. I see every blue eye cruising all the way. I tell you, you never stop and just move out to the line. Take me to them dirty ladies every time. Come on, oh, you gonna take me home tonight? Oh, Oh, you wanna take me home tonight, please, you know. Down beside you with my life. Oh, you wanna let me all hang out that bottom, girls, you make the rocket world go round. That bottom, girls, you make the rocket world go round. Do you know your box of rock?
That thing hot, Daddy. Ah! Oh!
Hot! Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Here's your Hot 5 audio cuts involving the Buckeyes and the state up north and your virtual Beat Michigan Breakfast Club. The 10-year war with Woody and Bo, very popular in this rivalry. Here's a clip of Bo and Woody reflecting on that 1969 Buckeye team that fell to underdog Michigan.
That team probably was the greatest football team that Woody ever had. It had no weakness. But they beat the greatest team that ever stepped on a college football field. I don't think there's any question what our 69 team, and I don't say that with bias, we were so far ahead in the national polls when we went up there that wasn't even close. I think that we were fortunate to catch them at a time when everybody was hailing them as the greatest collegiate team of all times. And there's an old saying that I learned from the coach at Ohio State, and that was that when people start saying a lot of nice things about you, look out. We'd won too many, and it's easy to get soft. And as hard as you talk to them, they still think they can win. Well, nobody had come within 4 touchdowns all year of them, and it's hard to convince guys. And Bo, of course, had lost a couple of ball games to just not too good of football teams. And it looked like we were a shoo-in, but we weren't, and that's the way football goes.
Well, you got to think guys like Woody and Bo, or Woody and Woe. Woody and Woe. I'll tell you what, those two, they just go crazy in today's society, wouldn't they?
Oh, absolutely.
Two old school guys like that. He talked about the polls. What it was AP and UPI, right? There were 2 polls back then, just 2, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
There was no social media. They'd be, they're probably spinning in their grave. All right, clip number 2. OSU's had great coaches over the years, but in 1987, it was Earl Bruce's final game. After the victory in Ann Arbor, they carried him off the field.
It's over. 56-year-old Earl Bruce finishes with his 81st win. He is 57-17 in Big Ten play, the best record in the Big Ten Conference since 1979. He finishes 5-4 against Michigan.
Boy, wouldn't Coop love to have a 5-4 versus Michigan?
About that coming up at 9:05. I know he was a part of it. He was on the field for that.
Yeah, absolutely. They had the headbands.
Yeah, right.
Cut number 3 here. Urban's first year versus that team up north. You remember it? Because the year before was when Fickle was coaching and they lost. So Urban made this move to get the W against their rivals involving Zach Bourne.
I've never done anything like this before in my coaching career. It was on a Tuesday practice, and we're done. Our linebackers, we don't have really anyone left. And it's either cancel practice, play with 10 guys, or I have to do something. I'm walking through the stretch lines as they're warming up, and I grab Zach and said, Zach, I've had enough. I'm putting you linebacker. What do you think? Didn't even blink an eye, and basically looked at me kind of with water in his eyes, said, I will do anything for this team.
Gardner lost the football as he wound up, and it is being ruled a fumble and a recovery by Zach Bourne of Ohio State.
Devin Gardner. They haven't had a quarterback since Brady.
Yeah. And wasn't the story that Zach told us the Senior Bowl, Devin Gardner was his roommate?
Yeah, right.
You know, it's a shame that the NFL changed because, 10 years before Zach played, he would have been a fullback in the NFL for 15 years. They just don't have a fullback in the NFL. Maybe like 6 teams have him, but he would have been a fullback in the NFL for 10 years back in the day.
Right. Yeah, I guess I never thought of it. There are no more fullbacks, are there?
And he did play in the NFL.
So third and short, you just no more fullback.
Put in a tight end.
Tight end.
You put in a tight end to block.
And the quarterbacks are so big now. If you just need the Big Ben, will pick you up that year.
Or they put an offensive lineman in the right?
Clip number 4. Ohio State certainly dominated the last 2 decades, but it wasn't always that way. Back in 1986, Bo knocked off Earl. Here's Bo in the locker room postgame.
But I'll bet the hooping and hollering is underway in Ann Arbor. That's going to do it. It was a great game. But Bo Schembechler gets the victory ride. And the Wolverines will go to the Rose Bowl with the Buckeyes going down to Dallas and the Cotton Bowl.
I can't tell you how proud I am. Smell good. You know, it's such a great character bunch of I knew they couldn't stop us. It was our turn to win. And those that thought we were done after last week, forget about Michigan and all the tradition.
And oh, how the mighty have fallen.
Brett Musburger. Remember Musburger?
Musburger was great, man.
Remember when Musburger?
He had big shoes to fill because Keith Jackson was the voice all those years.
He made the mistake of wearing that maize tie one year. Remember when Musburger did that and everybody railed on him? We talked about it for years.
Yeah.
Because I make a mistake, I pick out a tie, and then for 30 years I got to hear from
like
him.
he did it on purpose, which he didn't do.
No,
he swears he did.
No. Yeah. Cut number 5 here. So it's 2014. Buckeyes close game at home versus Michigan in the fourth quarter. You know, JT Barrett, who we had on earlier, is hurt. Urban Meyer tells the story on what changed the tide of that game.
I called timeout. Was here in 2014 national championship year. Our third string quarterback is in the game, Cardell Jones. Fast forward, we're right at the beginning of the fourth quarter. It's 4th down and that far. Analytics says you punt the ball, play good defense, and end it. I took analytics out the window. I like this. I go timeout. Timeout. Called the offensive line coach right next to me. Called him over here. At Zeke Elliott. Zeke Elliott wasn't the Zeke yet. He wasn't the same guy. You know, he turned out to be a superstar. It wasn't that way yet. And I grabbed the guys. Got him real close to my face right here. I won't share the language with you that we used. But I said, do you want to go for it? Do you want to go for it? And I mean, 6 faces came in my faces. Right, go for the first down. We'll get the first down.
Damn, I want to block for him.
Yeah, he is great, man.
He is.
And I wonder what the true story on his health is, if he ever will coach, because he certainly doesn't need the money.
No.
I mean, that guy is set for life. What a life they have.
Absolutely.
I'm a big Shelley Meyer fan. We see her out occasionally, socially.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that.
She's
family.
around. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. I wonder if he kept the house up in Muirfield, you know?
No, I have no idea.
Yeah. Because the restaurant's still
still
going
up there,
strong.
Yeah. Do you imagine if Urban was 0-7, we'd be like against Michigan, we'd be like, all right, time to go, Urban.
That's what I always say when I go in there.
Yeah.
I always say I want to sit in the 0-7 room. The little host is like, oh no, it's 7-0. So I said I'm a Michigan guy. It's the 0-7 room.
Then they give you a chair outside. That's the 0-7 room.
I'm sorry, you can't even come in.
Well, Chris Spielman's going to join us at 9:05. We're going to talk about this rivalry and some never, I was talking to Chris off the air. He is going to give you folks some never told stories about this rivalry. So we do that at 9:05. It's Torg and Elliott. Virtual Beat Michigan. Remember, you could go to Qfm96.com and you can sign up for gift cards for Borgata and Lion's Den as well. It's Torg and Elliott, QFM96.
Oh, it's been so long since we felt this way. I don't mind. The road is coming. Today is the day. see it takes no long just to realize I must have stand not to count everything that I have. It's holding me down. I turn it around. Oh, yes, I will. I see the dawn arriving. See me on the road I'm driving. It's a bright horizon. Oh, I see myself in a brand new way. The sun is shining. 'Cause I can't lose now. There's nothing to play. And I can tell there's no more time left to criticize. I see what I can now. Get everything in my life is leading me on. But I can be strong. Oh, yes, I can. I see the dawn arriving. See me on the road I'm driving. Oh, far away you left behind. Left behind. Well, the sun is shining and I'm on that road. Oh, it's been too long since I felt this way. Got down mine. The run is coming. Today is the day. And I can see it takes so long just to realize I must have strong not to cover. takes so long just to realize I must have tried not to cover everything that I am was holding me down. I'll turn it around. Oh, yes, I will. I finally see the dawn arriving. See me on the road, darling. Oh, far away, left behind. Don't look back. Don't look back. Don't look back. Don't look back.
No, since he's since he's in count, yeah.
Sonic Rock, Qfm96.
Lots of sunshine until late this afternoon and some clouds and a high of 60. Clouds tonight, slight chance of showers after midnight, a low 45, and showers for your Saturday, high 58. It is sunny and 40 right now. Well, Governor Mike DeWine has now extended the state's overnight coronavirus curfew into the new year. The curfew, first enacted last month, runs from 10 p.m. until 5 a.m. It restricts movement outside your home, but allows multiple exceptions for work, grocery shopping, medical emergencies, and religious services. Some epidemiologists, by the way, have questioned the effectiveness of the curfew. It's official. The FDA's advisory panel recommending emergency use authorization for Pfizer and BioNTech's COVID-19 vaccine. The vote, however, not unanimous, as the experts voted 17-4 in favor of recommending the drug for emergency use for people 16 and older. The CDC committee will also hold a vote to recommend, which could come as early as Sunday.
They had 4 Karens on the panel.
Why did you do that, Karen?
Former San Francisco's 49er quarterback turned social activist Colin Kaepernick getting his own Ben & Jerry's ice cream flavor. The company said their partnership with Kaepernick to launch the new non-dairy flavor. It's called Change the World, WHIRLED.
It's called Free Agent forever.
Didn't Ben & Jerry sell? Isn't that big, huge corporate owned? I believe it is. Yeah, they haven't had it for years.
I've never had Ben & Jerry's.
Really?
No desire.
Yeah.
It's going to be available early next year, and Kaepernick says all of the proceeds will go directly to his Know Your Rights camp. Kaepernick says he just hopes the partnership will amplify calls to defund and abolish the police.
Jerry, it's ice cream, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Well,
not
so
like
what's your go-to?
It's not like it's
chicken. It's fried chicken. It's fried chicken.
What's your go-to?
Graders is up the block.
Graders.
Great.
Graders. Yeah.
Raspberry chocolate chunk is my favorite from Graders, but it's a woman thing.
I'm not an ice cream guy. I just not,
Cake, pie, cookies. What are you?
Nothing.
Okay.
Whatever's
nothing.
available.
Pizza.
Seriously,
Pizza.
whatever. So you got ice cream, all right. You got cookies, all right.
Right.
Brownies. Yeah.
Hey, and Ace Frehley, guys, has delivered on his announcement earlier this week that he would have something to share with all of us today. What it is an animated video for his cover of the Beatles' "I'm Down" off his latest album, Origins, Volume 2, and this is what the song sounds like.
Look, it's a bird. It's a plane. It's a spaceman. You tell lies thinking I can't see. You can't cry because you're laughing at me. I'm down. I'm really down. I'm down. I'm down.
There you go, new Ace Frehley.
It's not new. That's a cover.
Oh, well, I know. Well, him doing
The song's
it.
40 years old.
You know, the funny thing is we've interviewed him, and I'm a Kiss fan. But when he talks, you really can't understand him. But when he sings, you can understand him.
Yeah, right.
It's very clear. The other bit of news is that he has released a limited edition, half red, half green colored vinyl version of the album for Christmas. You can purchase the album on its own or bundle together with a Christmas card signed by Ace himself for just a little bit more coin. So for the Kiss fan in your life or the Ace fan in your life, might be a nice little gift.
Hey, Ace, buddy. Let's talk here. It's Torg. I'm a fan. Gene Simmons, marketing genius. You giving away holiday cards. You need to talk to Gene.
Start small and build.
He's
He's got a
forth the
plan.
effort.
Kiss has caskets. You have holiday cards. Kiss has action figures.
Yeah.
You have a Christmas
I
album.
wonder how much more we should get Schettinger on the line. How much more the Kiss casket costs than a regular one?
I'd like to see what one looks
I
like.
wonder what it is. Yeah.
QFM 96 Kemba Financial Credit Union traffic accident free, but a traffic note. Green Lawn Avenue down to one lane in each direction at 71 until 4 o'clock this afternoon.
I want to be buried in an aha casket.
Take on me.
You know I'm Chumbawamba all the way.
Yeah.
Are you looking? Are you
I
an
get
automotive?
knocked down, but I'm not up again.
You stay down.
Yep.
Are you an automotive technician looking to advance your career? Celebration Kia in Lewis Center needs technicians now. Whether you're a seasoned pro or brand new, we need you. Stop wasting time in that dead-end job and come get paid for what you're worth today. Visit celebrationkia.com for more details.
All right, Thursday night football, Rams over the Patriots 24-3. It was kind of a snoozer. Columbus could have another championship. That would be good. They play at home versus Seattle in the MLS Finals, ABC 6, 8:30. So coming up this hour in our virtual Beat Michigan, I want you to, if you can, go to QFM96.com and you can watch us right now. You listen, obviously. You go to QFM96.com and you sign up for all our prizes that we've been telling you about. So it's all virtual today. Next hour, coming up next, Chris Spielman going to tell you some great stories about the rivalry. Kirk Barton going to be Zooming with us. He's going to be on the StreamYard.
Kirk.
Yes.
Kirk Barton.
Kirk Barton. And with Barton, you have to ask him who he played for. See if you can name them in order.
Oh, like there's that many?
Who'd you play for in order?
It's always funny when Merker gives his litany
He's not
of
Merker.
teams.
No, he's no Merker.
Yeah.
No, he's no Merker. Yeah, Merker's got a lot. Barton's got a lot. But Barton is so passionate about this rivalry, and he's on ABC 6 Football Fever.
Yeah, right.
He's going to tell some great stories as well. So we got a great 9 o'clock hour for you. It's Torg and Elliott, QFM 96.
WLVQ and WLVQ HD Columbus. Torg and Elliott.
So what? So let's dance.
Broadcasting from the Columbus Radio.
I think I have the perfect one for you guys. What do you say? Grab somebody and dance. Why not? I'll give you one more round. Get somebody to dance with, all right? Get on up. I'm sailing away, setting open cars for the virgin sea. 'Cause I've got to be free, free to face the life that's ahead of me. On board, I'm the captain, so climb aboard. We'll search for tomorrow on every shore, and I'll try, oh Lord, I'll try to carry on. Oceans and the waves stuck my memories. Song happy sometime. I think the childhood friends and the dreams we had. It's happily forever. So the story goes, but somehow we missed out on the clock of gold. But we tried best that we can to carry This is what lives in. They say, come sail away, come sail away, come sail away with me. Come sail away, come sail away, sail away with me.
It's the Torg and Elliott Beat Michigan Breakfast Club. Iconic rock. Qfm96.
It's our virtual Beat Michigan Breakfast Club. We're not going to be at Express Live, but we do it over the phone with heavyweights and with Eddie George, JT Barrett, and then, of course, this guy's as
royalty.
Big as they get. Yeah, Chris Spielman. How are you,
Hey,
Chris?
Chris.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Doing great. Thanks for coming on.
Loving your weekend NFL work. Boy, you're so good at that, man.
Well, tell people at Fox that.
Yeah.
How about that?
Hey, Chris, when you
I
see
appreciate that. Thank you.
No, so good.
when you see a guy like Justin Fields and you analyze the game, is he might be Trevor Lawrence stays. I've seen the Jets. He might want to stay, but I mean, is Justin Fields a guy first or second overall pick? Is he a guy who's got a long-term NFL shelf life?
Yeah, I think there's a couple things that Justin does a little bit better than Dwayne. Like Dwayne's struggling a little bit now, and that's not unusual. Quarterbacks are the most difficult position to identify and project, and you think you have all the answers, but I think where Justin's improved a lot is I think he's seen the field much better this year, seeing everything. I think he's getting rid of the ball a lot quicker, and the other thing is he has anticipation, and his anticipation and accuracy have been off the charts. And so I know that, look, I'd be shocked if Justin made it out of the top 5. I don't think that's going to happen. You never know how it's going to work, but, I just admire his ability to improve. Everything I hear about him from the program is thumbs up, attitude, leadership, all the stuff you want. And he certainly has played that way this year so far.
Hey, you think, what are you hearing behind the scenes? Is there going to be, I would assume there would be, but still a lot of noise coming out of Ann Arbor. Is there a spot in the NFL for Jim Harbaugh, should he choose? I don't know. Kind of damaged goods, right?
I don't know. I mean, I think that there's been, so many struggles, and Jim didn't forget how to coach. It's just, the one question, if I could ask Jim a question, I would just say I just don't understand
why they could never get the quarterback. I mean, you guys mentioned in the open how JT Barrett was a guy that you had. Well, Ohio State had 3 quarterbacks, and Braxton Miller, JT Barrett, and Cardale Jones that they rode to the national championship. And just for whatever reason, the ability to identify and project and develop a quarterback at Michigan, we haven't seen that. And that's certainly, I think, one of the biggest issues that they've had. I mean, we all know, we're all football fans and knowledgeable about football. We understand the importance of that position. And that's a position that, unfortunately, if you're a Michigan fan, they haven't hit on.
It's our virtual Beat Michigan Breakfast Club with Chris Spielman. So, Chris, it's in Michigan has to kind of bleep or get off the pot with Jim Harbaugh. I still think 10 wins. Yeah, it's a weird year. They're not playing well. Right. You're right about the quarterback. It's just weird all around college football if you look at certain teams. But you're a guy coming into it, and you've had this with your brother and Mike Zimmer in Minnesota. Minnesota had to commit to those guys because you can't go into a final year, especially in college football. How do you recruit if you're at Michigan and Jim Harbaugh going to have 1 year
They'll have
left?
to extend. Yeah, they're going to have to. You're right. That's to get off the pot.
Don't you have to extend the guy?
Yeah, I think from what I heard there was, who knows? I mean, you hear different things. I obviously have talked to a lot of people in Detroit, and I maybe there's a 2 or 3 year extension on the table right now. I don't know if that's true or not true, but that's at least what's kind of floating around out there. But yeah, for recruiting purposes, or you're just going to you'll decimate the program that really needs a rebuild. I would just want to know what the plan is here. I mean, we're not progressing, we're digressing. And look, I have all the respect. You guys know, I mean, I have all the respect in the world for Michigan. When I was a Lion, I would go over and watch tape with Michigan linebackers, not because I'm a traitor or anything. It's just that I wanted to help young linebackers, and I wanted to talk football. I didn't care who it was with, where it was with, when it was with. In fact, I think that's more respect for the rivalry. And so, I just think I look at that situation up there, and for whatever reason, something is missing. And maybe it's COVID, maybe it's not COVID, who knows? But I think certainly the Michigan teams that traditionally are put out there every single year, we haven't seen in the past few years. I mean, how does Michigan State beat Michigan?
Yeah.
I don't understand that. And they're in a total rebuild with Mel Tucker, who I think Mel took the job a day after signing day or a day before signing day.
Right.
Yeah, so, I don't see it.
Let me ask you this. So when do you think Ohio State flipped the switch to the program that we see today? Traditional powerhouse back in your day, they over the decades, certainly successful. But after the 90s and the Cooper era and the Wolverines kind of owned that decade, was it something Tressel brought to the table? Because now you're Ohio State's Alabama. You're Clemson. You're a one-loss team every other year. Ohio State separated themselves from the conference to such an extent that the game, I don't even know that it means anything anymore. When did that begin? Was that with Tressel?
Well, I think Tress elevated it, certainly. And I think, first of all, John Cooper is a Hall of Fame coach, and he's done a great job.
Yeah.
And his problems with Michigan are well documented. And then I think Tress elevated. Tress got a national championship and a great record against Michigan. And so he built on what Coach Cooper's foundation. Then Urban comes in, and it's just a whole new game. I mean, that's just the recruiting and the amount of players. And, the term that I've used over the years, probably with you guys, it's like I was sitting watching the game in Chicago with this past weekend with Kevin Kugler, my partner on Fox, and I said, Kevin, isn't it amazing? Like they have, 20 guys out, 3 offensive line starters out.
Yeah.
It's like the dudes in the white helmets in the Star Wars movies, man. 3 of them go down, and 3 of them that look. There's another. Kevin said, yeah, they got a 5-star behind him and a 5-star behind him.
Stormtroopers.
Another 5-star ready to sign. Yeah, stormtrooper guys.
Yeah,
they are.
Yeah. Hey, Chris, well, let's get into when you played, because we're getting a lot of great stories from Buckeyes about when they played Michigan. What was your record against Michigan?
2-2.
2-2. Okay. Because I tried tell everybody about that final game with the headbands and Earl Bruce. That's one of the best stories in Buckeye history.
It's really cool. It didn't end well for Coach Bruce, but it taught me about leadership. About Coach Bruce was fired right after we lost on the last play or close to the last play to Iowa. I think the week before. He was relieved of his duties after the Michigan game, and I thought Coach was undergoing the stress of being fired and let go, but he never let it get in the way of the team's preparation or all the traditions that go along with playing Michigan, whether it's senior tackle or all those type of things. And I thought Joe Stasniak was the guy that came up with the headband idea, and everybody put on those headbands in solidarity and support of Coach Bruce. But we all knew we couldn't do anything about it. It's just that's the world we all live in when you enter major college sports and pro sports, that you're basically hired to be fired eventually.
Yeah.
Unless you're Urban, but Urban and Saban and all those Dabo, those guys are outliers, man. And so I think it was a really cool moment. We certainly disappointed people that year. Not a very good record, 6-4-1. I think we ended up, but to go out and beat your rival and to send Coach out on a win over Michigan is really satisfying.
Yeah.
For all of us. And we were asked to play in a bowl game. I don't think anybody wanted to play. I mean, we might as well go out just beating Michigan and sending Coach Bruce off a winner.
Yeah. Chris, tell the story, because I told for the young Buckeye fans, so my kid plays football, and I told him, hey, if you want to get in one, you got to perform when you're in, but roam that sidelines, you get in that defensive coordinator's ear, and you tell him you're ready to play, and then I would see my kid, if he's not in the game, he's right next to that coach saying, I want to get in. Tell the story about your first game as a freshman. Is it true about you bugging Coach Bruce?
Yeah, it is. And it wasn't like I kind of earned a starting position. Then the week before in a scrimmage, I had an ankle and I didn't get to practice Wednesday or Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday is how it works in college. There's big 3 practice days before a game. And so then, I didn't start, and I earned that position, and I didn't get it because I was injured. I was feeling pretty good on Saturday. And I just reminded him that, I earned this, give me a shot. And he's coaching the game, and call it just being stupid or dumb or not knowing any better. But, I just looked back on that and said, first of all, I can't believe I did that. Second of all, thank God I didn't fall on my face when I went in there. So,
hey,
turned out okay.
All right, we're asking all the Buckeyes that we have on today a special moment that they remember. I mean, Zach Bourne had the one where he played Michigan, forgot what he hit a guy so hard he forgot what down it was. On third down, he said, I just followed the football. And he goes, luckily it didn't come near me. Is there a particular play or a moment from that Michigan series that you remember, a story that you can tell us?
Well, I'm going to go back to my senior year. And, you remember everybody was carrying Coach Bruce off the field.
Sure.
I think there's pictures of that. But there's a little brick wall that leads into that skinny tunnel.
Yep.
And I kind of just went off by myself because it was my last time as a Buckeye, too, playing for Ohio State. And I was almost just like stepping away from everything because it was my time to go. And I just wanted to enjoy that moment for Coach Bruce. I didn't want to be in the middle of it where I couldn't see anything. So I'm a very visual guy. And so I just wanted to observe that moment. And so that probably sticks out to me most. I'll never forget it. I was facing the tunnel. If you're facing going up, I was standing on the right side. If you're coming out, I was standing on the left side. And I was kind of the last guy to follow them up into the thing, but I was stepped away from it and observed the team carrying Coach Bruce off the field. And that, that was just kind of a fitting close to
got goosebumps.
Everything, for me.
Wow, that's a great story, man. Well, Chris, thanks so much, and hopefully in the coming years we can do this. Hopefully next year we're at the Express Live again, and we can have you in person. But I appreciate you coming on and telling some stories, Chris. Really appreciate it.
All right, guys, have a great day. Thank you. God bless you.
Chris, wouldn't Justin Fields look good in Honolulu blue?
Yeah. Why not?
Jerry,
Why not? Yes.
You'd look good in Honolulu blue, Jerry.
The more Buckeyes, the better.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
See you, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Okay, take care, guys.
I'd sit alone and watch your light, my only friend through teenage nights, and everything I had to know, I heard it on my radio. You gave them all those old-time stars, through wars and worlds created by bars. You made them laugh, you made them cry, you made us feel like we could fly. So don't become some background noise, a backdrop for girls and boys who just don't know or just don't care and just complain when you're not there. You had the time, you had the power, you get to have your finest hour. Radio. All we hear is Radio Gaga, Radio Goo Goo, Radio Gaga. All we hear is Radio Gaga, Radio blah blah, Radio what's new, Radio someone still loves you. We watch the shows, we watch the stars on videos for hours and hours. We hardly need to use our ears. How music changes through the years. Let's hope you never leave, old friend, like all good things on you it depends. So stick around, 'cause we might miss you when we get tired of all this future. You had the time, you had the power, you get to have your finest hour. Radio. All we hear is Radio Gaga, Radio Goo Goo, Radio Gaga. All we hear is Radio Gaga, Radio Goo Goo, Radio Gaga. All we hear is Radio Gaga, Radio blah blah, Radio what's new, Radio someone still loves you. Loves you.
What up, man? Volume.
Hey, Kirk, back here in about 30.
What's up, guys?
Or any size premium roast coffee. Any two for $2. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
QFM96 Kemba Financial Credit Union traffic. Accident-free, no major slowdowns, just construction. Greenlawn Avenue down to 1 lane, each direction right at 71 until 4 o'clock this afternoon. Traffic brought to you by Celebration Kia. Are you an automotive technician looking to advance your career? Celebration Kia in Lewis Center needs technicians now. Whether you're a seasoned pro or brand new, we need you. So stop wasting time in that dead-end job. Come get paid what you are worth today. Visit celebrationkia.com for more details.
It's the Torg and Elliott Beat Michigan Breakfast Club. Iconic rock. QFM96.
If you're buying a computer, go to QFM96.com and watch the show virtually because we got Buckeye Kirk Barton from ABC 6's Football Fever. He started a Buckeye website, BuckeyeScoop.com, and we could talk about the rivalry. Turn on your mic. There you go.
Kirk, I believe you put on a fresh shirt for this, didn't you?
I did, man. I got my Scoop World Order shirt, man.
There you go. Looking
great Christmas gift.
Now, we got to tell everybody because I was watching Football Fever a couple of weeks ago. You kind of called this, didn't you?
I mean, I was upset we didn't play Illinois. I know that it ended up working out in the end and we're in the Big Ten Championship, but you hate to leave it in the hands of our rivals. Like, you know, we're lucky we have enough coaches that understand our plight, and the fact that we had got the tiebreaker against Indiana, even if we had lost to Michigan, was huge. But man, if we wouldn't have got into this championship game, we would have been sitting at 5-0. It would have been rough. I mean, because we had one decent one against Indiana where we gave up 35 points, but you hate to leave the fate of your season in the hands of your rivals who are terrible.
Or on the committee. I think, and I heard Dan Patrick say this, I'll echo his comment, that they were in the Final Four regardless, though, with or without a championship game.
I would believe that, but this year especially, and with how the committee can be and whatever, it's like I don't want to chance anything. So, we need as many good wins, and, a Big Ten championship basically cements it. So,
yeah, correct.
Yeah. So you got a team, Kirk, that's 5-0 right now in a weird type of year where you're not playing, you are playing, you're under quarantine and you're back. From a player standpoint, when you're playing at OSU, how many games would it take you into a season before you got your rhythm? Obviously, the camps were different back then where you'd have a full camp. These guys stopped and went again. When do you start finding out the identity of your team?
I mean, I think we're getting there. We had our best game against Michigan State, which was good, but it's just been so herky-jerky with, these bye weeks that have popped out of thin air, like with Maryland, with Illinois, now with Michigan, along with the kids being quarantined. Like, all the kids are literally, as soon as they're done at the Woody Hayes, they go back to their apartments, their dorm rooms. They're not allowed to go out. So they sit in there and play Xbox all day. So, it's one of those deals where it's been tough on the kids mentally, to practice all week and lose the game against Illinois, to not be able to be social with your friends, to not be able to, really go out and eat. It's just been a weird year for these kids. So I don't know if they're ever going to find a true rhythm this year just because they can't really get a routine.
Kirk Barton is with us, BuckeyeScoop.com. Let me ask you about your new site here, Kirk. All those years in the NFL, quite a few teams. Torg and I were giggling over the list. Could you name all your teams if we made you?
Oh, easily. Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
They all paid me, man. Can you name all of your players? They're cutting your checks, man. It's like, you're grateful and thankful, and you're not, if things don't work out, you're not spiteful about it. Because, I was fortunate to make good money when I was in the league. So it's, as a young kid with no debt and playing in the league, you're about as lucky as you could ever be in life. So, but if you want me to run through them, it was Chicago, Miami, San Francisco, back to Miami, Cincinnati, Detroit, back to San Francisco, Detroit, Denver, Carolina. in 3 years.
Yeah.
So it's funny because people are like, do you ever want to move out of Ohio? It's like, well, I've lived in like 6 different states, and it's like I kind of had a taste of it when I was 23, and I'm not really. There wasn't a place I was like, man, I'd love to live there. It's I like Ohio. We're good.
So why return home and begin BuckeyeScoop.com? What was the impetus for that?
I thought there was an opportunity to build a quote-unquote all-star team that would include, Bill Green, Nevada Buck, like 2 of the pillars of the message board and recruiting community. We have a great beat writer with Tony Goodman, Tom Orr, more recruiting guys with Mark Givler, Alex Gleitman, Mick Walker. We've got a lot of depth. We have Russ Fulton, who's an X's and O's guy, and we've got a really deep staff. So I just saw an opportunity to go independent from Rivals and Bill's site.
Yeah,
it's been great. I mean, people, we're the fastest growing site in Ohio State history for our subscription site, and we're not cheap. I mean, we're a premium product because we have a big payroll. Like we have like an all-star team. So but you can cut your 2 subscriptions and just have 1. So it's
locally the appetite, because it's a crowded lane when you're talking Buckeyes, and yet they all seem to be working.
Yeah, I mean, it's you're only as good as your talent. I mean, that's the thing is like, it's like if you have an NBA team, like if your roster has.
That's why Torg and I are struggling.
But it's going to be a crazy offseason too. So we're going to get a lot of love because people are going to know what's going on when they pass this one-time free transfer portal rule where any kid can transfer without sitting out. It's going to be insane. So I'm looking forward to that.
ESPN yesterday just picked up the SEC too from CBS.
No, I didn't read that.
Yeah, pretty sure.
Oh yeah, they
got it now.
Oh wow,
yeah,
that's huge.
It's going to be ESPN and Fox. That's going to be
that is huge for them. Hey, Kirk, what do you think? I saw Boston College yesterday decided to not go to a bowl. They just basically said, "Listen, we've been quarantined. We haven't seen our friends and families. Why would we even risk going to a bowl? And it might get canceled anyway. The other team might cancel." Do you think you're going to see more teams now outside of the playoff teams, obviously? But do you think you're going to see more teams just say, you know what? We've been quarantined this entire time. We don't even know if the game's going to take place. We're going to pass on the bowl game.
I mean, I could see it just because it's just another expense you don't have to incur because going to a bowl game is expensive. So the athletic departments aren't exactly killing it this year, but I think there's something to the mental health of these kids. The parents have been really concerned about these kids that have been sequestered for a long period of time. They do all their classes online, and it's not healthy for the kids. I mean, it just is what it is. And I think, letting them be able to be free, go home for Christmas, not worry about bringing COVID back to the team. I think there's something to that. I think Jeff Hafley is a sharp dude for thinking that. This might set a precedent that's going to be followed by a lot of schools.
All right, so let's talk about that team up north. What was your record against those guys?
As a player in games that I actually played in, I was 4-0.
Okay, 4-0, and people don't realize you were a coach too. You were a GA there. What was your record? GA?
I was 2-1 because we lost in 2011 when we were literally the worst team in Ohio State history. We had 7 losses. That hadn't happened since the 90s. So worst team in history.
All right, so 4-0. And I wanted to ask you, so you were on the team, and you're probably sitting at home. I don't know if you're watching it live or you heard about it. And you're watching a press conference, and it's Mike Hart, Chad Henne, and Jake Long, all stars from Michigan. And they tell everybody, we're going to come back, because they all could have gone pro and been successful, especially Jake Long and Chad Henne, because Jake, I believe, was the first overall pick. So they tell everybody, we're coming back to win a national title, but we're coming back to beat Ohio State. Did that just, for you guys, hearing that and watching that, just fuel the fire for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, it was an interesting deal because most of my friends had gone pro. Like Anthony Gonzalez went early, Ted Ginn went early, Antonio Pittman went early. So our senior class was like 13 guys. It was really small. I was the only returning starter as a senior. So those guys were all seniors. Jake was a 5th-year guy, so he was the same age as me. And it's something that, you always kind of keep in the back of your mind when someone, the whole reason we're coming back is to beat Ohio State. And, they were preseason number 2. I mean, they were on paper going into the season, they were better than we were. They had a lot more experience. I thought it was going to be a tough sledding up there. Obviously week 1, they lose to App State, which was stunning. But, you always kind of remember that. And after the game in 2007, I couldn't wait to get to the media podium because I was a captain, so I was like the first guy to get interviewed every day. It was like me and Tress, we'd all sit at the podium, and I couldn't wait to get to the podium because I literally recited that quote. It was like, they all came back to beat us and ride off into the sunset, and I said, but a funny thing happened on the way to the sunset.
Yeah.
Todd, I wanted you to ask about Tress, how he approached this game. Because the one thing I covered you your senior year, when I first came to Columbus, maybe it was your junior year, but I first came to Columbus, I was the guy interviewing you last year. And one thing I noticed outside of you might have been the only guy, but every guy I called it on the air plugged into the matrix. I remember interviewing Brian Rabisky, and I was talking about Youngstown State, and he's praising them. And I looked at him, I go, come on, man, you don't really believe. He goes, no, I believe it. Truss had you guys, when it came to talking to the media, just robotic, plugged in the media. You guys that were trained that every team was the best team in the world.
Yeah, I kind of had a short circuit in that regard. But, the rest of the guys were robots. I just wasn't. I was self-aware like the Terminator, but he never wanted us to give billboard material, but I'd always kind of go right against like the line on that because I knew that like the guys that are on the beat, like I know a ton of these guys that are still on the beat. They got a job to do. You got to give them something. Like it can't just all be milk toast response every single time. So I would really try to help you guys out and give you something that's worth writing about instead of just being a bunch of boring stuff that nobody's going to want to read about. But he was pretty dialed in about, not ever giving away any bulletin board stuff, which we pretty much never did during his entire tenure, which is good. I mean, you don't want to give your opponent any extra edge. So it's good for that mental warfare.
Yeah. So we would all day long been taking, I'm sure you probably heard the Chris Spielman story about Earl's last game and how he just stood up in this kind of
soaked it all in.
Tell us a story about the rivalry. Could be any game during your time at Ohio State. Just a special memory that you remember or a play that you don't talk about a lot.
Honestly, the best pregame speech in Ohio State history, 2005, we were up there. We were favored. Michigan had like 4 losses, I think, but they were still good. They still had their guys, and they'd been hurt, but they had their full team that day. Eddie George was our honorary captain, and everybody like kind of knows of Eddie just because he was on the cover of Madden and Heisman winner and all this other stuff. Growing up, he's kind of like he was like the guy. Him and Orlando Pace were like the 2 guys. And he always like this like mild mannered guy, and he's in like Hamlet, and he's a Shakespearean actor and all that, and measured. But he was giving us a pregame speech, and I'm like, well, this probably pretty good, whatever. Like, but Eddie's always like soft spoken, mild mannered, even though he was a monster on the field. Dude, man, this guy gets up, man, he drops like 50 F-bombs, goes crazy. And it's all about his senior year on that field. The Biakabatu game like ruined him. He still and he wasn't gonna go off like that, but it was like he was down on the field when we were warming up, and the fans are like just killing him. Because I mean, he won the Heisman that year, but he lost to Michigan, so it's one of those things where they all remember that. They wanted to remind him of it, and the speech was just. It was like unbelievable. I mean, it was like any given Sunday good. Like it was like that good.
Yeah,
I sit there and I'm like, oh my God. I was like, I'm ready to go, kill
chainsaw a car. You're ready to chainsaw a car like Lawrence.
Yeah, exactly. Like LT did in the movie.
Yeah.
I wish that's like one of those like, God, I wish I had a tape recorder because I can't do it justice. But it was just like, man, because we had Tress. Tress didn't say the F word much, I mean, not like urban.
Right. Yeah.
But it was. It was awesome. I mean, and when you have a guy that you're growing up and you always like kind of look up to, and then like he puts on like that, like, wow, like this is like I mean, we knew Michigan's a real one. Like it wasn't like we're like, oh, now we know Michigan's important, but it's more that the pain of losing is just so overwhelming that you just don't want to ever experience it. So I mean, that was a good reminder for us.
Yeah, and you never did, which is great. It is great, man. Well, thanks for your time. Want to direct everybody, ABC6 Football Fever, obviously, and then BuckeyeScoop.com. And I know the site's good because my buddy said, hey, Barton started a new site, and he hired all the good people from all the other sites. So I know the site's good.
It's a simple process, man. It's like if LeBron goes to the Lakers and magically gets Anthony Davis, he's way better.
Yeah, just like that.
Yeah, it's like that. Like the year before they didn't make the playoffs, and then the next year they're the favorite to win the title.
Kurt, thanks so much for sharing
Thanks,
everything.
buddy.
Thanks. Take care.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
We're always driving to dance lessons. So we signed up for Know Your Drive. We save money and get closer to her dancing dreams.
The daring young man on the flying trapeze.
Or maybe her singing.
Giant Eagle Pharmacy, your trusted pharmacy for 40 years. Restrictions apply. See pharmacy for details.
No matter what winter throws at you, Grismer Tire will get your vehicle winter ready.
Hey, it's Torg and Elliott here. And before we wrap up our virtual Beat Michigan Breakfast Club, I want to tell you guys, you could still watch us for a few minutes live on Qfm96.com. But even better than watching Torg and Elliott, because we're only 15 minutes left, Jerry, is
Register.
winning prizes,
yes,
right?
Yes. Now, we got a Vegas trip we're going to give away, but we're going to wait a couple weeks to pull that. But still, today at QFM96.com.
But you don't win that today. No. You don't sign up and win a Vegas trip today. That's a different promotion.
Oh, is that completely
that
different?
Is completely different. So
I saw Vegas trip.
Scratch that. That has nothing to do with today. Nothing to do with today.
But still,
now you got everybody's attention.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Gift cards from Borgata, Lion's Den, the Weed Whacker from Vernadell Tractor, and another prize from Vernadell Tractor. The blower,
leaf blower. Correct.
I should say leaf blower, not the blower. Yes, the leaf blower. So Stadium 11 has been playing while we've been online at Qfm96.com, but let's hear a little on the air.
Somebody to each morning I get up and down, can barely stand on my feet. Take a look in the mirror and cry, Lord, what you doing to me? I spent all my years in believing you. I just can't get no relief. But somebody, can anybody find me? Somebody, Lord. I will come every day of my life. I will try in my bones I take home my heart and pay on my own. Go down my knees now, start to pray till the tears run down my eyes. But somebody, everybody find me. Somebody love. Every day, oh, I tried, but everybody wants to put me down and say I go crazy. They say I got a lot of money in my brain, I got no common sense, no let me leave. Somebody, ooh, can anybody find me? Somebody love. I got no feel, I got no rhythm. I just keep losing my beat. I'm alright. I ain't gonna face no defeat. Just started out of this prison's hell. Someday I'm gonna be free. Somebody to love, somebody to love. Somebody to love, 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 somebody, find me, somebody find me, somebody to love, can anybody find me? Somebody to side to side. Somebody
It's the Torg and Elliott Beat Michigan Breakfast Club. Iconic rock. QFM 96.
What fun we've had.
All righty, kids, that is a wrap. We want to thank Vernon Dell Tractor, Lions Den, Borgata, Anthony Thomas Chocolate, and, of course, our QFM 96 house band, Stadium 11. Beautiful job,
Jerry,
guys.
I can only see the top of your head, and it's very shiny. You might need to adjust your camera just a little bit.
You got it there? I think something moved. There we go. There we go. Have a good weekend. I guess you could sleep in.
Yeah.
Drink during the game. Hopefully next year at this time we will be at Express Live.
Yeah,
right?
I'm just going to bourbon up and watch
sure.
the crew myself. You do what you want.
There you go. You're going to bourbon up. You're going to make the crew. It's at 8:30.
I'll bourbon up at 8.
There you go. There you go. Christy, what do you got coming up today? Thanks, everybody, for watching.
2 iconic nooners next hour. In fact, it happened on this date back in 1973. The guitarist was just about electrocuted during a show, had to be carted off, but in true rock and roll style, came back 10 minutes later. And 96 minutes of nonstop iconic rock next.